Riley Herbst from 2311 Racing here, and you know what grinds my gears? Waiting for coffee. But instead of counting frappes and lattes, I fire up Chumba Casino. No apps, no fuss, just fun social casino games to pass the time. By the time my coffee's ready,
order for Riley.
I've already taken a few victory laps. Next time you're stuck waiting, make it entertaining. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So first,
absolutely,
and I was like,
let's dig it all up.
Oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So sidebar. Yes.
And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Also Podcast. It's our Love Island Season 7 USA,
Debrief.
Unfortunately, episode. Meredith and I have not talked about it except for one time when I sent her a TikTok she made and I went, are you fucking kidding me right now? Is this the side you're on?
Well, yeah.
And that was the only time we don't know each other's opinions.
I think then you had told me that you think that you're in the minority of like viewers on some thoughts. And I was like, oh, wow. So I've been waiting for this discussion because that is the only things that have been said between the two of us.
I think I'm not sure if it's just my TikTok algorithm or like what happened, but I think now people
you're finding your people
can see, or I'm just missing it. But let me tell you, it was rough on TikTok during those times. I was like, what the fuck is my For You page? I felt like, when we all had to delete TikTok and then we had to rebuild our For You pages, that's what it felt like. And I was like, oh my God, not again.
I don't even know what your thoughts are, so then I don't know who's speaking against you, but I can't wait to dive in.
Okay, before we get into it, though, we have a bunch of things to plug. Not really, it's what we do every episode. But we have an Instagram, a TikTok, a YouTube, a Patreon. All the links are in our description. And please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Okay, Meredith, let's see if we're on the same side of history or if I'm in the minority. I will say I'm on the right side of history, and I'll stand by that. I just think everyone else is wrong. America famously can't vote correctly. So I'm just saying I'm unsurprised by what happened.
Well, we are going to go week by week by this just so we can slowly walk through what did happen in chronological order. So in week 1, we obviously had the original cast entering.
What did you think of them? I do, but like, what did you, when you were watching that intro, that's just the way you make me feel. Were you like these uggos or were you like, all right, hotties? What was your thought?
I was like, okay, like I'm excited. I was really excited about the girls. I thought they were really hot. I liked I think USA is good at like the diversity in the cast just in general. Yes. So I was happy to see that again because I've only seen 6 and now 7.
Same.
But I was like, okay, here we go. And to be honest, the guys weren't making me angry. I feel like they do the girls dirty a lot, but I think it could have been a lot worse. I really was excited about Jeremiah and Nick.
Okay, I was excited about Jeremiah. I thought he was the only one that was even like remotely hot. Yeah. Right? Austin immediately, I saw him in the intro and I went, what is that?
The minute that man spoke, I was like, no.
Disgusting.
I need him off my screen immediately.
Ace had the back tattoo and I went, what?
Hated that.
And then immediately, what's his name? Taylor. He showed up as a cowboy and I was like, I don't know. And then I saw his like Planet of the Apes tattoo and I was like, I was
excited about Taylor for Alandria because she said she learned a cowboy. So I was like, okay, like that could be an early interest of a couple. That's great. Like that'll start sparks off quickly.
I was talking off looks. We look at the intro.
No, I know.
Okay.
Yeah. But like the intro was stupid. I always just don't look at the intro because they always do that stupid little dance thing. I'm so embarrassed for them. It feels like it's like the Disney Channel. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Let's
To be honest, we don't know if they always do that or if that was a season 6 thing.
No. They did it in season 6 as well. I think
we don't know. We can't say always because we only know 2 seasons. Because they don't, they don't do a singing on UK. They just have you walking around. So for all we know,
music playing. They're not singing or dancing. They're doing those like it's always about what their
like
jobs
someone's
are
an
and stuff.
airline pilot.
Yeah,
who's
and they get a
the
call
plane.
or a text. Yeah.
So I can't say, and neither can you, if USA has always done singing or not. But I was feeling immediately Shelly. I was like, who's this goddess?
Oh yeah.
Immediately Alandria. I was like, yes, please. And then Bella, I was iffy on immediately. And then Huda, I was in it. I saw her in that intro and I went, okay, hottie. Okay,
oh my
hottie,
God,
let's
her
go.
body, amazing. I'm sorry, but this is the one show that I think you can objectify people because they're in
they're always
swimsuits
naked, basically. But then, what was her name? Ulissa?
Yeah.
Ulissa. She got removed immediately. We didn't even really have to get to know her because she used a racial slur.
By the way, it's not even like she gave anything in the first few episodes. Like, I didn't even notice she was gone. Like, she did not register to me in the slightest.
I loved how they did it. Like, Ian Sterling just comes on and was like, Ulissa has been removed. And we all moved on.
I missed it. That's awesome. How little she made an impact on me.
Ian Sterling, per usual, is my favorite Islander. He had me cracking and rolling this whole season.
Alicia, people who started with Love Island USA don't like him. And I'm like, that is a crime against humanity.
Shut the fuck up. Who doesn't like him?
It's because they used to have somebody else before season 6. People have commented on our stuff and have said, oh, it's really fun except for Ian Sterling. Like, I missed the other guy. And I'm like, no.
Immediately, no. Drop your name because I hate you. Ian Sterling is the only way I will watch. Ask Meredith. She said Ian Sterling was walking away from Love Island UK, and I said, I don't know if I can watch without him. I heard that's a rumor.
Not true anymore.
Yeah. I heard it's a rumor.
He made a cryptic post that made it seem like he was leaving.
Thank God, because I can't do Love Island without this man. He is my comfort. So he is so funny. How are you not cracking up at all of his jokes? He made a joke at one point. I'm not spoiling anything, but he said something like, I'm so mad because this man looks better in a crocheted sweater vest than I do. And I was fucking cracking up. He's the funniest man. You know what? Fuck you if you don't like him. Ian Sterling, I love you. I'm your biggest fan. I have been for years. I wish you weren't married because I would propose. But Lauren Whitmore is also beautiful, and that's his wife. Amazing. Okay.
Love it.
Anyway, let's move on.
Okay, so they all enter the villa, obviously. I like that they're switching up this from the standard of Love Island UK because I think that does get stale on how they pick, a pair. And I like that people can't just come in and have exactly what they want and just stick to it from day one. I kind of like when America gets a say, when you just don't know how you're going to be paired up from the get-go.
I like in America. Here's the big difference. In the UK, and I said this last season too, they don't kiss like immediately. Even in challenges, like they really hold back. And then in the US, it's like, well, you all met. Now we can all make out with each other.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like UK then kisses more outside of challenges. They do. US, like they have this weird boundary between challenge and not challenge.
Yeah,
and it makes it a little annoying.
Because at some point, a lot in UK, they'll like close off even in challenges. Like you just won't kiss anyone but your person if you're dating. But it seems like in the US, it's like if it's in a challenge, anything goes. But outside a challenge, don't even look at someone else. It's a very weird boundary.
And then because UK doesn't kiss so often in challenges that are not your partner, if you are excited about someone new, you do have to kiss them outside of the challenge, which like does make it more serious. And like people hide it more, which then causes drama. And I love that. Like US, we are being way too respectful. And like the only word I can think of is like prude. Outside of a challenge, it's just a kid.
Literally everyone should be kissing. Oh wait, you're all so hot and naked half the time and bored probably. Why aren't we kissing everyone all the time? They should put their own challenge together where they all just kiss each other. And see if there's sparks. Outside of a challenge without no one's watching you because they're all kissing someone else too. Like it's basically a big makeout hang.
Well, that's basically what our like first coupling was. They kissed, I believe, 2 or 3 guys.
2 people. You picked 2 people.
Got to select. They went in order, like a random order, and got to select who they wanted to pair up with. And I remember the biggest shift was when Shelly and Ace were together, and Ulissa selected Ace, and Shelly had to step away.
Yeah, Shelly got Austin then, which that did terrible. Here's the thing. We know because it's live, so we can see these people in real life. Knowing that a beautiful Black woman was paired with a MAGA voter really crushed me.
Oh my God. And not just a MAGA voter. I'm sorry, but then it's Austin too. His voice,
so
his interactions.
crazy.
I mean, just everything.
Why is his mustache a different color than his hair?
That actually frequently happens to guys, but still, the fact that he moved from Minnesota to Florida to be like a pool boy is crazy.
It's crazy. All I thought was the show Glee. If you've never seen it, someone on there is a pool boy, and it's like the main focus of this character. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, that happened. I think another thing of note was that Hutta and Jeremiah kissed, and then Jeremiah swerved someone else's kiss and like got it. They did kiss on the cheek because he was super interested in Hutta. And then the other thing is Bella, or Belle Dasha, as she's known. She also didn't kiss on the lips. That was a boundary for her.
Which, how did you feel about that when she said that in the opening segment?
That's fine. If that's your boundary, like that's your boundary. I'm not here to talk. I personally am not going to go on the show if I'm not planning on kissing everyone. But
agreed.
She's hot. I was like that's her boundary. That's fine.
I was worried for her that she was going to be then like a step behind everyone. And you just, when you isolate yourself away from kind of the group when you're first meeting people, it's just a noticeable thing to be like, oh, that's the girl that doesn't kiss. But I agree. Like, I guess I don't mind her boundary, but the switch up later to like go all out, which we'll talk about, was crazy to me. I guess I just didn't understand it. But
okay, question, because this is also, rumors started floating. Do you think Ace and Shelly, did you believe the rumor that they were dating outside of the show?
No, I didn't. I mean, they were very upfront before even that coupling up happened that they had known each other and like followed each other on Instagram. Obviously, they'd met. I bet that they were like flirting a decent amount, but they live in different cities, so
yeah, I went back and forth a lot. Like sometimes I was like, and I think a lot of it is, I don't know who the fuck edits and produces these episodes, but y'all suck. Because one day Ace and Shelly were basically strangers, and the next day they were like basically in love. And I was like, what did we miss? What did you cut out? A lot of the times I felt like these couples immediately like started really liking each other, and I was like, but how? But we didn't see any conversations happen.
That's what's hard, is I don't think they build up the couples in the right way, because for Ace and Shelly, with Shelly being paired with Austin at the beginning, we have like the love triangle forever. And it takes so long for Shelly and Ace to actually be in a couple. So I think their moments got shown so few and far between because we have all this other stuff going on. But also Shelly's in an actual couple with someone else. So they're going to prioritize showing that because of the overarching story.
Dude, listening to Austin talk, okay, I really commend these women half the time because they never gave stank face when these men talked. My God, if Austin was talking to me, my face would be permanently altered into the biggest stank face. Half the shit he said, I on my couch was like, what the fuck? Like if a man said that to me, commend the women.
That's where the game part of it kind of comes in, is that you do have to keep up multiple connections like just in case to keep you in. Because I kept being like, Shelly's not into Ace or Austin. Why does she keep like being half involved with Austin while she clearly wants Ace? And then I thought, wow, like if Ace does couple up with somebody else, like she can't risk being vulnerable.
When Ace couples up with someone else, she can't be vulnerable.
That's a good point.
That's it. That's why I can't go on the show. Not only am I not this hot with this many abs, I couldn't go on the show because if someone tried to speak to me the way Austin spoke to anyone, I would be like, nah, it's not a thing. This isn't, I don't want to get to know you.
No, thanks. I agree. All
right, then what happened?
We had Sierra come in, and I forget who the guy bombshell was.
Charlie. They came in during the kissing challenge, right? Okay, so then this was a really good challenge.
Yeah, they came in during the blindfolded kissing challenge.
Yeah, so everyone was sitting down. You were all blindfolded, and Ariana was basically like, I'm going to tap you on the shoulder. If you want to like, first you had to raise your hand if you want to kiss someone else. Doesn't matter. But she tapped on the shoulder. And if you wanted to go kiss someone else, you go kiss other people. This was hilarious.
I loved this.
You could hear the kissing and be like, my partner's kissing someone, but I have no idea who, right? And so a lot of people kissed. The one that surprised me was Nick. He left Baldasha and kissed Olandria. I think he kissed Shelly. Like he might have kissed Huda. He kissed a lot of girls. I thought you could only kiss one.
I know. I was shocked that you could kiss multiple. And Ace kissed Huda, which kind of shocked me.
That was weird. Jeremiah and Huda. Well, that also, I think, angered Jeremiah because like Huda got kissed.
He had this
he was
thought
like annoyed.
that I don't think he was annoyed that she got. Well, I think he was like annoyed.
He thought
like,
she
who's
got
kissing
up
my partner, but yeah, he thought she got up
because of like Ariana's foot. Like
which
the
I was
feet.
like, I wondered that too. Like, could you hear people getting up? But Ariana said like her walking around made it confusing, and I was so happy to hear that. I thought this was going to kick off way more drama, though, or not drama, but like way more interest in other people, and partners would be swapping. I was really excited about this quote unquote challenge, and I kind of think the aftermath fell a little flat.
They're weirdly loyal. Stop being loyal, babes.
I know.
Cut it out. My gosh. You have to be loyal until at least halfway through. So then, Sierra and Charlie come in. I was excited about Charlie off the bat because I was like, a British guy. Like, that'll get the American girls going.
These two bombshells were really good.
I was excited about Sierra. I was like, she's hot. Like, let's do this. And so they came in, and then they kissed everyone, which was awesome. And then they got to take someone to the hideaway, right?
Okay, and they spent the night there, which I thought was crazy.
That was awesome. So Sierra took Nick, who was partnered with Baldasha, and then Charlie took Shelly, who was partnered with Austin, but really wanted Ace. So that was a lot of fun. Shelly's gorgeous. Of course she should get picked. Holy fuck. So then, I don't remember really the drama of what happened with that, but Nick immediately really liked Sierra. So he's like, I'm kind of in.
Yeah. Charlie just fell flat in those first few days. Like, nobody was super into him, which I was so shocked by. I was like, he's hot,
I think he's
got
boring.
the accent. But I agree. And I think it took him a little time to, like, warm up. But it just seemed like nobody tried to even get to know him either. I know he's boring, but like he's a new guy and not every couple was like popping off.
It was kind of that. It was kind of like I almost wish Sierra had gotten to know everyone. Like Charlie had been more like willing to kind of take the front and like ask these women to have a chat. It seemed like immediately like Shelly was already in a love triangle. So Charlie like didn't know what to do. And then Sierra just found Nick and was like, this is it for me, which made it a little interesting because then it was the love triangle with Baldasha. But like everyone's weirdly in their couple by day. Like here's my other thing. It felt like after this challenge, right? Jeremiah's mad because Huda got up and like everyone's like, did my partner kiss someone else? You've known them for maybe 48 hours. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if they're kissing someone else. Am I wrong? Like these people were already so locked and I don't get that.
Okay, which I've heard since that somebody, I think Ace said that a lot of them like knew each other at least online. And so I wonder if that led into this, is that there was this like weird amount of loyalty because they kind of all had this like parasocial relationship already.
When will we start casting nobodies again? I know,
seriously.
I know that it wouldn't be a good Love Island. Maybe not. It wouldn't be aesthetically pleasing. But you know, grab a bunch of people like us. Like, we're just normal normies.
I don't mind if you get a variation of, like, people who do have, like, 100,000 followers. I understand that's also good for promotion of, like, the show to, like, their audience. But you need to mix in some normies. Like, you can get one or two people across the entire season who know each other. But the first set, like, everybody kind of, like, having all these random connections is crazy to me.
I want Love Island average edition that I could be cast on. Just an average person quitting her job, going on the show, going, let's see what happens, right? I don't have any internet. I mean, this podcast would probably get me canceled, but I don't have a lot of internet baggage. And so I would go on to this show and people would be like, who the fuck is that? She doesn't have the abs that we usually see. No, I don't. But then get guys that also don't really have the abs. And we'll see what happens. And we'll have actual fucking conversations.
Well,
I don't know. Just ideas.
They just need to do better. Whoever's casting this is terrible.
Oh my God. The amount of, I'm going to say it again, the amount of MAGA people in this house was astonishing.
Well, they're gonna cast MAGA people. Like, that's not what's gonna
cut it out.
That's not what's gonna change. But
cut it out.
I just
then make it like the real world. Let's discuss what you're comfortable with and what you're not.
Well, we also in this week get Hannah as a bombshell.
Hannah and Amaya, the baseball challenge. This was fun. This was disgusting. I hate these challenges where you have to spit shit in people's mouths and like share popsicles.
I was gonna say, because they have somebody on every base and
you get to pick. You get to pick your home run. Which was weird because you did the same with everyone at every base. So it was.
I agree.
It didn't matter if you were first base or home plate. You were getting grinded on and made out.
They weirdly, when they talked about it in their interviews, were like, I'm home plate, like, I'm the grand slam, I'm the best. And I'm like, you're not having sex with this person.
She was just humping the dude on second base. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Literally, it was more intimate to be on, like, third base where you had to share that disgusting popsicle. That really fucking sense. Or second base where they had to lick shit off of you. That's crazy. At home plate, all you did was make out. You did that at every base.
She kissed or he kissed, or wait, the girls got to pick, right? After they kissed 3 other people, potentially.
So that was it. So the girls all got to pick their rotation. So they picked a bunch of guys. The one thing Hutta said in the challenge was like, none of these bitches better put Jeremiah at home plate. None of them picked him for anything. Like, no. Yuck. They were like, we don't even want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. But all the other dudes, they were getting action at first and second and third and home. There were a few homers. Sierra and Beldash both picked Nick for home plate. And Beldash, this is where she started making out with that. My God. I love how she was like, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to do it. Okay, go off. And then she bruised her lip. She kissed so hard. That was awesome. It was also disgusting the way I hate these challenges. But then, we crash in. We get Hannah and Amaya, and they're like, do you have room for 2 more? And everyone was like, except Hada, whose eyes started shooting laser beams at these women.
They haven't even done anything. All they did was walk in, and she's like pissed at them.
Yeah, so they picked their rotation. I honestly don't remember Hannah's that well. I remember Amaya's better, but they get to pick the rotation. I don't know if Jeremiah was in Hannah's, but he was in Amaya's. He was home plate, I believe, in Amaya's. Yeah. So they do the thing, and no one's upset. Everyone's just cheering on. People are a little uncomfortable because I think it's more like, oh, no, now I might be at risk. Like, I got to play the game. But no one was like, fuck these bitches, except Hutta, who had a full fucking crash out.
Which, like, every time a bombshell comes into a challenge, it's always like, oh no, is this going to change anything for me?
Yeah.
But Hutta, like, she takes it like it's life and death.
Dude, that picture of her in the confessional after with the hat on and she's all gross from like her face, and she's like staring up at it, mouth open, and she goes, be so fucking for real. And her mouth was so crazy.
Her reactions were so funny.
It was she was terrible. Immediately I went, this woman sucks. Because then we go back to the house and they do that thing where they don't let the Islanders shower immediately.
Oh, I love. Well, because the problem is they're trying to keep it like the continuity of it, and they're all doing their interviews as they're talking. And I think it's so funny when some people have things just like dripping down so much. You can tell they're so uncomfortable because that was like slime and goo.
They're like cold. Yeah. So all of the current girls in the house, besides the bombshells, they all go chat, and then the bombshells talk to the boys. And Hutta is like, I hate that bitch Amaya. She's sneaky. She literally made out with your man in front of your face. It can't be more clear.
I was like, how is it sneaky? And also, this is the point of the show. I've heard she did not know anything about the show.
Then don't sign up for it. You know that's my number one anger.
I agree.
Don't sign up for the show.
Listen, okay, fine. The first 3 days, you're trying to figure out what's going to go on here. But, like, at a certain point, you can't be mad. Like, you already had a different challenge where everybody could kiss each other. Like, you got to click into, like, this is how this stuff is going.
Well, also, before these two bombshells showed up, you saw everyone else make out with everyone else's men. And then you went, what did you think the challenge was? And because Jeremiah's at home plate, it literally doesn't matter. The base literally does not matter. I cannot stress that enough. She starts ragging on Amaya. Everyone's like, we don't even really know her. Huda is starting her crash out. And then on the other end, the two bombshells are like, you know, is anyone paired up yet? And they're like, no, we're all really open except Jeremiah, who's basically already married.
Which is crazy because this is like, I'm pretty sure this is day 6.
It is day 6. I was just about to say, to give you an idea, it's between days 3 and 6. We're between days 3 and 6.
I was so pissed at the start of this season because I was like, you have to be fucking kidding me. There's like, always one couple who, like, I would say, like, clearly gets very close very quickly. Not this quickly, though.
No. And, like, also they understand that, like, this is the show.
Yeah.
Like, even the couple that's together, the girl might be a little like, I can't believe that there's a girl in here trying to steal my man. And she might go to the guy and be like, you're not interested, right? But never has there been like, well, maybe, but like, oh, that bitch, 2 seconds after the bombshell shows up.
Like the girl for creating a connection, but it's never that personal. Like, it's just like, this is ruining my situation. Like, this could affect my situation.
Yeah, it's very selfish, and that's understandable. But yeah, that was crazy. And then Huda, of course, is like going to Jeremiah, and she's like, you better not like her. And Jeremiah's like, I literally don't even know her. So what'd you think of Hannah and Amaya when they entered, when we got to know them a little bit? What were your thoughts initially off the bat?
Amaya annoyed me early on.
The hell out of me, dude. That laugh was crazy. I was like, who is this? Her and Austin talking was like
nails on the
my nightmare.
I can't have both of them together. Like I grew to love Amaya, but
no, we're going in order. So
I know. I'm just
point,
saying.
I wanted to die.
Early hater, just because her voice just scratches something in my head that pisses me off.
The way she flirts.
I loved her energy, though. I loved her energy. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, we need someone to just, because everybody was like kind of low energy. Like they were really pretty and all this stuff. So I was excited for Amaya's energy. And then Hannah, I don't think I really had any thoughts about her.
I thought Hannah was boring. I was like, another white woman, I'll never remember her name. Another blonde white woman.
A blonde white woman Alicia struggles with.
Not again. But I will say, Amaya, the way she was flirting, you know how we've always talked on the show, like we watch people flirt and we're like, it's so crazy to watch because it's so awkward. And like girls will be like, oh my God, like they change their voice. Oh my God, the way Amaya was like.
It's just 100% herself.
The laugh. But like the way she was flirting was even crazy. And I was like, I cannot comprehend. When her and Austin would talk, I had to leave the room. I had to excuse myself.
I just know I need to be more like Amaya. I need to be more myself, not worry what other people think of me. And I don't mean that as a diss at all, because I think Amaya is a perfect example of just like
she's amazing.
Because then you find who is right for you. Like
you fall in love with, like we all as Americans fell in love with her, like the authentic Amaya self.
Like I remember noticing from the very beginning, I was like, oh my God, girly is going for it. Like
girly doesn't care. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
Because she went for Ace. And I was like, damn.
She talked to everyone too.
She did really good.
She made a point to like sit everyone down. And granted, I always think like there's a lot on the cutting room floor that we don't see, but like, we saw her talk to everyone and she was really bubbly and she didn't just sit down and be like, oh, where are you from? You know, like she was like cracking jokes in her Amaya style. Like She was like asking different types of questions, and I feel like really quickly figured out who she wanted and was going to go after it. So I was pumped for her like crashing into the villa and like stirring shit up. But yeah, her voice nails on a chalkboard to me.
She gave everyone the opportunity to get to know her. I was dying. Okay, so then Hannah really only gets to know Charlie, honestly.
Which I was excited for them to connect because I like Charlie. So he's a little boring. But
they were both boring.
Like, now we got a pairing though. Like here we go.
The boring
I
couple.
love when two people can find each other on the same level.
It was fine. It was a boring couple.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So then, correct me if I'm wrong, do we have that challenge, the heart challenge, where you turn people around?
At first, we have a dumping, and Bella goes
Nick has
home.
to pick. Listen, I love an islander dumping. I love when there's an uneven number and someone's going home. I love that. I hate when there's multiple people go home because America and everyone had to vote. No, I want you to sit there and look someone in the face and go, I don't like you enough to pick you, so I'm picking the other person.
Because I also want to hear the recoupling speeches. We like never got recoupling speeches.
This was the only time. We got two different, there's three people up there, you got to dump two or whatever that was.
We only had two true recouplings, I think.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I think having to pick between two people in front of everybody and say, like, for Shelly, like the guys did it, but like if Shelly had to pick, it's like you have to choose between Austin and Ace.
Yeah.
Like you have to make it a definitive moment, which hurts the other person. And so if you still want to get to know like Austin, you have to make that repair, which would then hurt like Ace. You know, you have to make it so obvious who is your number one.
The other thing I like about a recoupling, we could take out all the fucking dramatics, right? Like, none of this, they both have to say the same name, and if they don't, they go home. No. Because at a recoupling, even if you don't want to be picked by this person, if they pick you, that's your couple.
Have to.
That's half the
Which
fun
is what
of it.
happened. Amaya chose Ace, and I don't think he 100%, like, he wanted to be with Shelly, let's be honest.
chose Amaya. The boys were picking.
Oh, really?
Ace chose Amaya, yes.
I thought because the girls were
I was like, why? Because that's why Amaya was like, why did you even pick me?
You're right.
Because Nick was the one that chose between Bella, Dasha, and Sierra.
Yes. Yeah.
Those the boys.
And right before the recoupling, Nick had kissed both of them. And so that drama. But the minute he said, I had a really great time in the photo booth.
Oh,
you knew Sierra.
I was rooting for Sierra. No offense to Belle Dasha, but I have a question. Why does she talk not white? If you pick up what I'm saying, she very much was don't say she's Hawaiian.
No, she isn't. Her family are immigrants, and I think her mom is of Asian descent. I think so. I'm sure
she wasn't talking.
Not that she is. No, I know, but I'm just saying she hasn't. I don't know what her dad is, but she definitely has two immigrant parents. I think she grew up in like the Northwest, and then has lived in Hawaii for a while.
She grew up in Portland.
She said after she exited the villa that she just has picked up a lot of dialects and has a weird. She's kind of like Dorit.
She had a dialect that did not match her skin color, and I went, whoa, a few times.
She also just talks really slow, and so I think the way she says words get really drawn out too.
Yeah. But this is also the point when I started to find Nick a little funny. Nick started to grow on me. Like, he's the funniest Islander.
I was like, funny as in haha or funny as in weird?
No, haha, funny. But like, it was a weird sense of humor. You had to get it to get it, you know?
My friend definitely does.
My friend described him perfectly and was like, he's almost too funny for the villa, so no one gets it. And I was like,
such a good point.
I get it. No, that's also, a good one.
Like, watching somebody be funny on TV, if other people aren't laughing,
it doesn't hit.
You get the energy of the joke falling flat, even if you were to find it funny if he said it to you. Yeah, he definitely was not paired well with people who like
laugh.
Yeah,
funny.
his like personality.
jokes. Yeah. Okay, so bye, Baldasha. First one. Hutta is distraught. That bitch cannot handle another. She can't handle this. She can't handle the show. I don't know how she made it. Anyway, then what happened?
I believe. Then we get that leather and lace challenge that you were.
This was the best challenge. This was the best challenge.
Where Ariana comes in brunette. Oh my God, so hot. In all her red leather outfit. And then
Austin wanted to couple up with her. He wanted to leave this villa and fight her boyfriend for her hand in marriage.
No, but I was like, get away from my girlie.
No, literally go away with your weird mustache. Go away.
Oh, also, Ariana knowing what's going on outside the villa and then also inside the villa is so funny because she will make face reactions. And I'm like, you're going to give it away how America feels about these people.
I know. But yeah, this challenge was so dope. They basically, the boys were locked up.
Yeah.
The boys locked up.
Yeah. And the girls that they were paired up with got to like tease them a little, which I was like,
yeah.
This would be so hard as a guy. Well, I was like, oh my God, like, you're like, don't get hard, don't get hard, don't get hard.
My jaw was on the ground. I was like, this is so hot. And then they were like, all right. They were like, girls, now we're going to tie you up. But the boys didn't get untied, if I remember correctly, right?
Well, she announced that a guy was coming in to like have them enjoy it, and they were like, "Ooh, hell yeah! Tie me up."
So they're both tied up to the same heart,
back to back.
And then these three hot bombshells walk in. We got who is it? Jalen, Iris, and who is the
Pepe? I think.
Yeah, and Pepe. The way my jaw, I went. There's not a bad one in the batch. They must have saved all the super hot people for bombshells because
that's my thing is. I want to start with somewhat mid, but kind of on the upper end of like the normal Islanders that started. So then the bombshells should bomb. Like they shouldn't be bombing; they should be bombing. You know, like they should be breaking shit up.
I was in shock. The way Pepe looked through that TV screen right into my eyes. Yeah. The way Jalen and his big ass thighs thundered through that villa.
So good in that leather.
And then Iris, well, she's hot. She was another blonde woman. I was concerned.
But I was going to say, the way she came in, I was like, you're going to remember her.
So then the boys came in and they got to make out with every girl as they were chained up with their couple right behind them. Yep. And this is what you do in a couple. Everyone was laughing and they were like, get off my girl. But it was like funny. Ha ha, laugh, funny. And some of these kisses were.
Here's the thing, you gotta go for it. We always say it. If you're gonna be the bombshell, you gotta go for it. This is your one time to grab everybody's attention and like figure out who you're interested in and who might be interested in you.
Yeah. Especially, who's my favorite? Because Amaya and Ace were on bad terms because Ace picked Amaya and then like didn't want her. Oh, his boundaries. She kept calling him babe and he like really. God. Sorry, side note. But she was really cheering for him to literally kiss anyone but her. Yeah. She was like, yeah, how dare he though? She calm down with the boundaries. Calm down. About that.
The yelling at the dock was incredible.
My God, he is so whatever. Anyway, so Pepe and Jalen do their thing, and they bombed, and then
all the girls loved it, and like you said, like the guys,
everyone made out.
Yes, everyone. Well, it was like, oh no, what's happening with my girl? I'm a little stressed, but none of the guys were mad at any of the new guys, and like that's how it should be. And then we get Iris waltzing in.
Wait, I love how they flipped them around. The boys,
because I thought about this. Everyone. I thought that the girls were still going to be on the inside because the inside circle could see across the way, obviously, and like verbalize what was happening potentially to the other girls. So I was so happy when they flipped them, so none of the girls could see anything that was happening at all.
So all the girls get flipped out, and Iris does her rounds, and she rightfully makes out with everyone. And then she gets to Jeremiah, and Hannah does this weird back bend while she's chained up, and she's like, bitch, you better get off my man.
I was like, all right, that is so unnecessary. You just made out with two guys. Like, you just had this same thing. I understand if the girls had gone second, being a little bit more upset, but You just had this experience. How can you be that mad?
This is literally like day 7 or 8. That 7, 8, 9. Between day 6 and 11, she's pissed about this too.
Yeah.
And Jeremiah's kind of like, fuck, dude, I don't know what to do. And this is where America and I, we were aligned. I went, fuck Hutta. Let's get her out.
No, because I was like,
let's
this
make life
is
miserable.
crazy. Because
you're not making this fun.
No, even after, again, I understand emotions being heightened, whatever, you make some comments. It's that after it stayed the same tune too. Like, Hutta, like, will never be okay with any of this stuff. And this is what, like, I'm going to call this our third challenge-ish where people are making out, because when they first got to the villa, all those people, like, made out with 2 people. Then we had the blindfolded in a circle make out. And then we had the baseball making out situation. And now we've got this. Like, clearly this is what's happening. You're not dating. You are not dating. Even when people are closed off, you're not dating this person. You're a week and a half into this show. Get a grip.
No, truly. Also, I don't know about the timing, but I also thought it was weird how Hutta didn't kind of like immediately tell Jeremiah she was a mom, because I think that's kind of important to disclose.
Oh my
because
God,
like as someone who doesn't really want kids, I want to know if you have a kid, because that, it sounds terrible, but that could affect the way like our relationship goes. Like, why would you want to date me if I don't like kids?
Listen, everybody has a right to not want to date you if you have a child. I know that's not fun to hear, but not everybody should be forced into step parenthood.
Yeah, so she's like, I'm going to make him basically fall in love with me, and then I'll tell him, to which she did, and he took it pretty well, but she was still like, look at me.
He was shocked. And I feel like she was offended that he was just taken aback by that. Because I would have been taken aback if a single dad was in the villa and told me that, and I'm paired up with him, and we've been paired up with since the beginning.
Yeah, 100%. Because like you didn't let me know, and now I may have feelings, but now I have to consider if I can really date you, because now your kid's going to be involved if we leave this villa together. Like, that's just an extra thing for me to know. And then she's like, as a gift, I'm going to tell one other guy in this villa so Jeremiah can talk to.
No, she took days to do that too. She was okay, fine, I'll let you have one other person, because clearly this is hard on you.
So she tells Nick, and that was the funniest. When I tell you Nick is the funniest Islander, she sat him down and was like, first of all, she said it really weird. She goes, I'm a mommy. And he goes, Mommy? And she goes, I'm a mom. And he goes, Mamacita.
Like, my brain would not go to you have a child on the outside. I'm sorry, mine wouldn't.
If you said to me, I'm a mommy, I would be like, what?
Yeah.
And then he does. She goes, no, I'm a mom. And he goes, a mom of what? A dog?
Because why couldn't she just say, I have a daughter, I have a kid. I'm a mom, and I have a daughter who's 6 years old. I don't know how old she is. But
it was so, I'm a mom. A mom of what? A dog?
Yeah.
No, I have a daughter. And he goes, a real life dog?
Yeah.
She wasn't giving him a chance to comprehend, but she also wasn't telling him anything.
That's the thing. She wasn't saying concrete information. She was trying to be like all cutesy about it. Like, I'm a mom.
Meredith,
like,
Meredith.
What?
Meredith, I'm an employee.
Of what? Yeah.
Like I'm a mommy. The way she said it, I'm a mom. I didn't even say I'm a worker. I just said I'm an employee. It's so weird. It was so funny. I'm
pretty sure she did the same with Jeremiah, where she was like, I'm a mom. And he was
I'm a mommy.
What? Instead of just saying like, I have a daughter, who's 6 years old. I'm a mom. It's really hard for me to date. So I came here. Like, she just constantly wants like a cutesy reaction.
She wanted someone to be like, she wanted to say, I'm a mom. And someone to go, a mom? With a child? And her be like, yeah,
that's
I have a daughter.
Amazing.
Oh my God. No, these people are like 24 years old. Nick doesn't even know what a mom is. No. A mom of what? Like, he doesn't know anyone with a kid.
The term mom only applies to his mom, like in his mind. Like, he's like, what about my mom?
My God, when my first friend got pregnant, I was like, you're going to have a child? Like, it took me still years to comprehend that she had a human she takes care of. That was crazy. So
can you imagine knowing this person for like a week and you've never heard any of this, any slip ups about her kid, which like good for her for keeping that on lock. But I just, I find it crazy that she wouldn't just say it from the get-go. I feel like it made it weird because she just didn't say it. And I understand like wanting
Mamacita
to have this experience for yourself, or like not wanting it to cloud people's like idea of you. But again, that's who you are. It's not like
that
you are like how Cordell kept his brother a secret. Like that's not integral to who Cordell is.
Yeah, it's that. It's the same thing as like, where do you live? What do you do? Because like, could I date someone across the country from me?
Yeah.
That's important. Could I date someone with a child? That's important. Could I date someone with 1,000 siblings? I don't know. You know, like there's a lot of things that kind of go into it where you're like, huh? Because when you're dating someone, you have to learn about that person to know if you can like match. And a child is a big part of the life that we're going to mesh.
Yeah.
So I think people should upfront say if they have pets so I can know what I'm getting into. I don't care if it's fish. I want to know if I have to clean tanks.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Anyway, that's my rant on Mamacita.
Okay,
oh man,
but at the like leather and lace challenge, I believe Jeremiah knew at this point that she had a kid, but I don't think Nick did. And so I understand her being attached to Jeremiah and taking this more seriously, maybe, but you don't get to call people out of their name and be upset that somebody is kissing your man in a challenge. I maybe understand a little bit more outside of a challenge, but in a challenge where the whole point is that she's going to kiss everybody. She didn't single out your man anything. Mm-hmm. And how dare you speak about Iris that way? And then after the challenge, like follow up with that behavior and basically be like, absolutely not, you cannot speak to him. Because I'm pretty sure Huda then, when Iris asked if anybody was closed off, Huda basically was like, I mean, not officially, but like basically.
Yeah, like he doesn't want to talk to anyone else. I don't want to talk to anyone else. We're basically exclusive. That was weird.
Making those decisions for him.
At a later date, just because this involves Iris again, Huda was like crashing out about something Jeremiah did or said or whatever. And Iris was kind of like, what's going on? And Huda's like, Iris, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a mom. And so like what Jeremiah does is like this goes so much deeper. And I was like, this is why we shouldn't maybe
weaponize. I think she constantly weaponized her daughter. And it was so frustrating.
It was so weird.
Because you don't tell half the people. And then when anything goes wrong against you, you're going to use that as like why they can't do that to you.
But I did find it funny when she said that to Iris. Iris goes, oh, that's awesome. It's awesome. Well,
I think
no
Iris
one cared.
was also constantly scared of her because
wow,
the reactions Iris got were crazy every single time.
Okay, yes. So like what happened, let's lead us somewhere new. We do leather and lace. We have these 3 hot new bombshells. Iris obviously is getting to know everyone per a bombshell.
Yes.
Right? And she talks to Jeremiah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, she talks to Jeremiah, and also Hannah is talking to Pepe a lot. And at this point, we get, and Olandria is like talking to Jalen. She's like between Taylor.
Oh, the way I went ditch Taylor and date Jalen.
Same.
The way
I love Jalen.
My God, I was rooting for. So when Hannah started talking to Pepe, I went, no, because Pepe said his type is a hot Spanish woman. And I went, stop with the white girl. And no offense, but like, come on. Bad Bunny's already dating a white woman. Like, we don't need this anymore. Right?
I didn't see like massive chemistry between them. Like,
I just thought it was sexual chemistry.
I thought she was better with Charlie.
Agree. She had sexual chemistry with Pepe, but that was about it. And then Olandria and Jalen, I was 1,000% behind that. And then Iris, I used her. I got to be honest. I used her. I hope she gets with Jeremiah just so Huda can get voted out.
Agreed. That was the best time. That was one of my favorite like moments
when America
in Love
was
Island
united.
History right now united. Is everybody online being like, we got to save Jeremiah. We got to get him out of this. Unfortunately, we have to use Iris. And so, we have a fan vote to pair up the bombshells in a new couple. And like we said, we got Jeremiah with Iris. We got Jalen with Olandria. And we got Hannah with Pepe. And it caused chaos. But that last one, or Jeremiah and Huda were last. And when they read Jeremiah's name, she goes, what?
what the fuck? Fuck you, America. That's what she said. And no, 90% of the time I would also be like, hell yeah. I looked at her and I said, America got the vote right this time round. America did it.
When it got read aloud and she had that reaction, I was kind of scared for Jeremiah, because a lot of times when America votes for these things to happen, or even when the bombshell picks someone, the old partner, their first reaction tends to be like, what did you do that would make them think they could pick you? And so I was like, no, do we just subject Jeremiah to even more?
I didn't care. I was worried for Iris's sake. I didn't have time to care about a man. I was worried for this woman who clearly was like, what the fuck? But
who literally had it's not like Iris got to pick this time.
No.
And like how we see it in other cases. Iris had nothing to do with this.
Did Huda hate Iris for it? Did Huda hate her?
Yep. This was a moment for Huda to validate why she hated Iris. And it just made it worse in Huda's mind. Iris is the villain.
Yeah, luckily Olandria was the one that was like, America's obviously seeing something you're not seeing. Huda took that as Jeremiah's screwing me, which no, America saw your ass is crazy, girl. So
that was insane when she was like, clearly America's telling me that Jeremiah sucks.
I can do better than Jeremiah. No, girl, we wanted you out that villa.
Like, you know what? If that keeps you away from Jeremiah, sure. Like, just end this couple now. This is so fucking toxic, because they had gone, Huda and Jeremiah had gone on that water park date. And that after that date is when Huda told Nick, and that was all before the recoupling. And so, yeah, like I think Huda took every single second in the villa with Jeremiah as if it had been a month.
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. But then that meant, this was the best part then, Huda, Taylor, and...
not Huda. That they were single. No. Sorry. Yeah.
And Charlie all had to stand up front, and your fellow Islanders who were not involved in the recoupling each got their own vote to vote someone off. And I went, and Amaya was the best. No, we don't want to do that. It was like, that's the game, girl. That's the game. That's why we're here.
I was like, Amaya, girly. I understand a first, no, we don't want to do that. But we don't want to do that like 7 times.
She was sobbing, and Ace side-eyed her so hard. And I was like, no, same. Because the way I wouldn't shed a tear, because I know this game, and I would be like, yeah, that's, I don't think Sierra even looks sad. I was like, vote him off. I do think they got it wrong. I have to say though, but it was fine. So basically, the most notable was that Nick and Ace both stood up and said, we vote out Huda. Like,
yeah,
no questions, no ifs, ands,
because
or buts
even
about
everybody around knew she had been toxic with Jeremiah. Like, it was, Jeremiah had been saying that like things weren't good. I remember at one point, Huda and Jeremiah were talking, and Huda told him, you cannot tell anybody anything negative about our relationship. Like, she definitely started clamping like her claws down on what he could do, who he could talk to, what was going on.
It doesn't really matter if it was before or after this recoupling, but she also had her huge crash out where she yelled at him. Okay, we'll wait then. That is to come. We'll wait then. Okay.
But they had slept together at this point.
Yeah, wild.
And she had isolated him with the news of her being a mom, and had only Nick was the other one who knew.
Yeah.
Jeremiah didn't even know, at least we didn't see that he knew, that the girls knew. So it gave him very few people to talk to about this stuff. And then she had told him, you can't tell anybody anything negative about our relationship. That's for us.
That you can't talk about me. Yeah. So it was volatile, but yeah. Ace and Nick looking Huda straight in the eyes and going, "You're my pick," was awesome. Austin then voted out Taylor because his best friend was Charlie, which I was like, dude, just vote fucking Huda out.
That was crazy. His like side vote,
his burn vote, basically. Yeah. And then all the girls, which I thought this was crazy because of how much Hannah really liked Charlie, they all voted Charlie out. So Charlie was the one dumped from the villa. Know. You just needed one girl to say Hannah. It's vote, too loyal with the girls.
But I never understood this vote at all. I still don't get it.
Here's my other complaint. I know after watching season 6 Love Island USA is now going to be like, we have to have a girl gang. We got to be loyal to the girl gang. You don't. That is not the show. It was great that it happened. It was amazing. It's not necessary for me to love you on Love Island. You don't have to have this strong girl gang. You can vote her out.
2 to 3 girls that you are really loyal to
and
for the gaming of it. And that's it. But trying to like keep all the girls intact is crazy. It's not a sisterhood of all of us. You need to find your sisters in the villa.
Hannah had talked to Amaya about Charlie, and then Charlie tried to hit on Amaya. So Amaya was like, my vote's going to Charlie because, like, how dare you do that to my friend?
And Charlie gave, right before they voted, Charlie gave that heartfelt speech saying, don't vote me out. Like, and Ariana said it was even longer than what we saw.
Advocate for yourself.
Yes. He asked if he could speak. She said, of course. And he talked about like the last conversation him and Hannah had just had before they all sat down for the fireplace, how they basically like said that they really want to pursue each other. Like, I understand if Hannah was showing Pepe enough that America voted them together, does she really need 2 guys? Maybe not. But once Charlie gives that speech, it's like, clearly these are the 2 that need to be together.
And that was dope. I didn't like how everyone was yelling over him. Like, let the man speak. You're about to vote him off. That was awesome. So, Charlie goes home. Everyone's in absolute chaos. The boys yell at Austin for having a burn vote, which fine. Jeremiah yells at the 2 boys for voting out Hudda, which, like, whatever, bro. And then Hudda's freaking out because Jeremiah's a bad guy and and Iris sucks. And, like, Iris is like, I can't wait to disappear. Honestly.
In that 2-piece white lace, and her mascara was kind of running
down her face.
Her face was so puffy. Like, that iconic game. It's kind of the Andrea vote out.
It was giving Andrea immediately, except the vote went wrong on that one.
Seriously.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
But then the next morning, so like Charlie goes home, Hannah is sobbing, obviously.
Over the picture of her and Charlie from the photo booth. That was cinema, baby.
God.
That was cinema.
But then we pick up the next morning on the next episode, or maybe there was a Wednesday in between, to the Islanders who just were recoupled or America voted for, whatever, wake up early as hell and sneak out of the villa to go on a date. So Hannah goes from sobbing on a bed with a picture of Charlie on a date with Pepe. And I was like, you know what? Get it, girly. Love the rebound. Thank you.
But my favorite was Hudda woke up in the night, in the morning, to find Jeremiah and Iris not there. And she looked like the girl in the Ring, walking around this room looking. And then she goes and she wakes up my man Taylor and is like, hey, can you believe they all left to go on dates? And Taylor was like, I couldn't care less. Taylor didn't even like Olandria that much. He was like, I'm just playing the game at this point.
Can you tell me this when we're making breakfast tomorrow? Like, you don't need to tell me this right now. Why does Hudda have like a Batman signal for Jeremiah's presence?
It was awesome. She looked and the way Ian Sterling was like, look at this weirdo. And I was like, no, literally what a weirdo. So then
I've never seen anything like that in Love Island history of like.
No, that was crazy.
Oh my God.
So then everyone finally wakes up and Taylor is like, can you believe this bitch awoke me in the middle of my REM sleep? My REM cycle was happening.
Well, I've heard they get like between 2 and like 6 hours of sleep. So I would be pissed if Hudda's standing over me, poking me until I wake up, being like, hey, this girlie's gone on a date. What can I do? What can I possibly do at this point?
I don't need to know that.
No,
it's not necessary. So then let's just like even make it like fucking worse. So whatever, everyone has a good time on their date. Yeah, they all come back and everyone sees that boat and Hudda is like, I'm gonna go
lounger,
sit in her flats,
sunglasses on.
And someone
Arms
goes,
crossed.
come chill with us. Come be chill. And she's like, I am chill.
And
I'm
her chest
relaxed.
is breathing up and down
I'm
so
relaxed.
quickly.
I'm relaxed.
She's
So then
like,
everyone comes back. My favorite was Iris, Pepe, and Jalen immediately go to the top, to the upstairs.
Debrief. Yep.
Jalen goes, or no, not Jalen, sorry. Jeremiah goes with the boys, and Olandria goes with the girls. And Huda gets up and walks like to the staircase behind where the boys are talking on the couch.
She at first was with the girls and then goes, I have to go to the bathroom, and walks, over to the staircase.
In her slides. The slides really made it for me. She's sliding
to snoop on the boys convo, which is, I'm sorry. That's crazy. You should not be allowed to do that, because I don't care what Jeremiah says. I don't care how even offensive or if he said anything terrible. You have a right to work out your feelings with the other parties. Like,
and also
that shouldn't be held against you that much as you're trying to figure out what's going on when you were forced to go on a date with a new person.
Listen, if I remember correctly, he didn't really say anything that bad.
No, honestly, what happened is, I forget if it was like Nick or Ace. I kind of think it was Ace said, like, it kind of feels like you're going to drop Huda. They said that to Jeremiah. And he said, I don't know what I'm going to do. But like, Huda then hears that and is like, he's going to drop me? Like, what did he say about dropping me?
She pops up. She walks over and she gives him a big middle finger and is like, fuck you, and so mad, and then starts screaming about how he's a fucking bitch and like whatever. She was going nuts. And then you cut upstairs to the 3 bombshells and they're like, should we go down there? And then they're like, no, we shouldn't go down there.
In theory,
and Iris is like, I'm scared.
They're supposed to debrief on their own, and then I think they're supposed to go to the guy-girl sides and keep their debriefs going. But hell yeah, I'm sorry. As the girl who, quote, like, took Jeremiah from Huda, I'm not going to go sit with her. Hell no.
No. And I liked how Pepe and Jalen did not leave Iris unattended, of course. And then Huda's, Huda's freaking out. She's freaking the fuck out, right? He's a bitch. He said he's going to drop me. Amaya is trying to de-escalate the situation. All the girls are like, just breathe. It's not a big deal.
Like, fuck him. Like, let's just go sit back down.
Huda is like, I'm gonna go and talk to Iris now. So she marches her ass upstairs. She's like, can I talk to her? And Iris is like, and the boys are like, I guess. But they immediately go downstairs and they tell the other girls, like, why don't you get up there? Please go up there. So they talk. And then one of my other favorite moments, Iris and Huda are talking and like the girls slowly come up and Huda's like, what's the date? Can you at least tell me? And Iris goes, we just took a boat and like sat on a private beach and had a picnic. And Huda goes, my dream date. And he knew that. He planned the date.
Again, like,
he planned. I don't even think Love Island production was like, let's troll Huda with that one.
No.
They
Literally,
like,
that was the most low maintenance date I've ever seen in my life. They gave 2 couples like kayaks. I'm pretty sure Huda and Iris had to swim in the water and then sat on a blanket. Like, there was nothing to this.
They all have yeast infections now. Calm down. Your dream date, calm down.
Your dream date is for like a production company to set up a blanket on a beach.
And he knew that. I don't know.
Like, she just takes it. I get Huda a lot because not as big as crash outs as she's had, but I understand how she gets in these anxious cycles and like tells herself something, and then like one little shift in energy or words from Jeremiah or somebody else like makes it worse, and then it like affirms what she's telling herself in her mind, and she's like going crazy in her mind. But at a certain point, it's not Iris's fault. Like, Iris has nothing to do with this. Yeah, she's involved in this situation, but the fact that she's like needs to go up to Iris and say, what was the date? It's none of your business. That had nothing to do with you. It's not like Jeremiah asked her out. It's not like Iris asked him out. Like, this is just a production thing that's happening.
It was crazy. So then let's move on because Jesus Christ, did Huda drive
me
absolutely
many
nuts.
more crash outs to come.
We have so many more to do. What comes next?
From there, we have the door recoupling.
Oh, I hated this.
I like the idea of it, but if it's at the risk of us not having a real recoupling, I hate it. I think this would be a great one to do post Casa Amor.
Okay, great. Sure. But
because
yeah,
I
give
like
me a
that
real
you can't
recoupling.
see or you don't know who picked who. And like I like the setup of this, but yeah, I don't like this instead of a recoupling. So we have the doors and the girls are all standing behind their doors. And the girls had to text who they wanted. They only got one option to unlock, like a guy who could unlock it. The guys then walk up to the doors and try to open it. And basically everybody is a match except for Jalen goes to Alandria's and it doesn't unlock for him.
My heart broke because, like, I'm sorry, Taylor's just not that into you, and I knew that.
I agree.
And he was just doing this to stay in the game, and I was like, Landria, no.
And I think she is such a slow burn that because she had more time with Taylor is why she made that decision, which I think is so unfair.
Jalen would have kept her so happy. Oh, man.
Agreed.
You did that to yourself. You know what? You did it to yourself.
Agreed.
So that
and
one...
then
yeah,
we get Jeremiah and he's walking up to Huda's door and then he switches at the last moment and steps over to Iris's.
Ace was
I
gagged.
was gagged. I was like,
I wasn't. His ass wasn't choosing Huda. Not
I
after
know, but him doing the like crossover, like that's where he did her dirty. Is I'm like,
it was awesome.
Wait, you led into the product. You know what's happening. You're making this a dramatic moment. It was, and then whoever on production got the shot of the girl's side of the doors as Jeremiah opens the door and is hugging Iris, and Huda like crashes down and is like sobbing. Yeah. Oh, a beautiful shot if I've ever seen one in reality TV.
The worst part of it, they let Huda loose through her door, and they're like, "Huda, was your door open for Jeremiah?" And she's like, yeah, and I'm surprised he picked Iris because he said she wasn't even his type and she was like not even attractive and he doesn't like her. I was like, dude, how are you gonna blast Iris like that? Like, really? She is taking hits. Like, she's at war. Iris is just being bombed constantly. She's trying to live.
By one person.
By Huda. Yeah, fuck you, girl. And then we have to send someone home. Oh, I hate this too. So it's Huda or Jalen because they're the only two single ones. And everyone has to go stand behind the islander that they want to save. And I went, well, fuck, these girls are all going to be loyal and pick.
Because at this point, Huda constantly is talking about girls, and in a weaponized way. She's talking about the sisterhood. She's calling Iris and Amaya out for not being girls constantly. Well, like to the other, like, OGs.
Yeah, just for kissing Jeremiah during a challenge.
Yeah, yes. Like, she's calling other girls sneaky and being like, that's not girls. She's making it a big deal about the sisterhood of this island.
So, yeah, I mean, listen, there was a lot of surprises, but the biggest one is that Iris stood behind Huda.
That pissed me off so much. I was like, I don't trust Iris now.
She's fallen into this trap. She's not being real.
What I will say is Jeremiah and Iris were the last to go, and Huda had the votes. So Huda
had the votes.
If Iris were to say, like, we didn't see this, but if she were to say, like, in an interview saying, I just did that because I didn't want to take any more from Huda.
Yeah.
Understand it.
I get
totally understand it.
I think Ace also stood behind Huda, which was surprising.
And she tried to be like, oh my God, thank you. And he was like, don't.
I think he was doing it for Shelly. It doesn't matter, but basically...
I think he was doing it for Taylor, like, trying to get out Taylor's competition.
That would also make sense.
Yeah.
Either way, though, sweet baby Jalen leaves the villa. I hated it. That was another reason to hate Huda. She sends Jalen home, basically. She should have sacrificed herself because Jalen's a sweetie pie and deserves love.
No, like, Huda was crashing out so hard in this week that it's like self-evict. I'm pretty sure production had to have a talk with her because Huda's behavior gets way better after this.
They did. They had to talk with her. So, cheating, if you ask me. Anyway. So then what happened? What do we do then? What's next? Do we go to Casa?
I think we get Andrina. Oh, we get Meg the Stallion.
Oh, this was so cool. This was so cool.
Oh my God.
Yada, yada, yada. I was freaking out during this episode. I love Meg.
Her coming in and sitting with the girls at the makeup table first. And literally, I was like, I don't know how Meg got away with this, but she was like given some tea on some of the like quotes people are saying outside of the island. But they were all confused, obviously, because a lot of the quotes were like one-on-one type of things. So not everybody would have known. And then her being like, oh my God, Alandra, I love you. And O's like, you know my name?
You know my name. That was so good. She gave all the girls these hot little bathing suits. And then the challenge was who could, like, it was a twerk off, basically. It was a stupid challenge, but I had fun watching Meg the Stallion do anything. And these people can't twerk for shit. Yeah.
Shout out to her because her swimsuit line is in Walmart. And so, like, it being an approachable price point is amazing. I love when celebrities do that instead of just ripping money out of their fans' hands for like $150 swimsuit.
No, I love Meg the Stallion.
They're cute.
Oh my God, they're so cute. And she has one pieces and bikinis, and like she has different styles for everybody. Oh, I love her. Anyway, so we do this twerk off. I don't think we need to hit on it that hard. Everyone sucked at twerking basically. But Huda did that stripper move, and I went, "Where's she at after dark?" That stripper move was crazy. That was insane.
Oh my God, the girls did good. The boys trying was just comical.
Whatever. But then they have to put this puzzle together so they can get the bombshell. I think just the girls won, but we get both bombshells. So we get TJ and we get Andrina.
I always mess it up.
Say it.
Andrina. I'm gonna mess it up now that I'm thinking about it.
Andrina. Yeah.
Yes. You have to have the accent in there.
I went, someone get Pepe on a date with Andrina immediately. He had been saying,
yes.
He loves didn't he start speaking
Spanish when she walked in?
I was
sure he goes, that's all I... No, then I think he goes, that's all I know.
I was feral. Absolutely feral.
Oh my gosh.
And then TJ I thought was hot, but also boring. So I went, put him with Hannah. Boring.
Put him with Hannah.
So, yeah, they come in and listen, Andrina, she bombshells, dude. She's talking to everyone. Nick has hard eyes. He's like, holy shit. And TJ and Sierra also hit it off, which I have a hot take. Are you ready? Are you ready for it? Sierra and TJ's conversations were much better than anything else we saw on Love Island. These two were meant for each other. I went, this is the couple I want. I'm sorry, Nick. I love you, but
when people would have good chemistry in their conversations, but already had another match, I feel like people just stuck. Like, loyalty was the name of the game this season, and it was so annoying. People just stuck with what was rather than risking it for something better. And a lot of
you got to risk it for the biscuit. Risk it for the biscuit, because Sierra and TJ, holy shit, were those two hitting it off in every chat. Most of the time for chats, I'll zone in and out. I was locked in on their chats because it was good. It was actually good. And then I have to say, Nick and Andrina were less good, but they were flirty and it was cute. Jeremiah and Andrina, I didn't believe.
I think this is when people started to realize Sierra and Nick really aren't a great couple. If they have way more chemistry with these two bombshells that came in,
randos.
They are not a good couple. This was a turning point for me with Nick and Sierra. I just really didn't like it. And then also at this point, the boys are telling Jeremiah he cannot talk to Huda. He can all the things he was doing wrong with Huda. You really locked yourself down and you guys were closed off without being closed off. You need to be better. And so he has Iris he's talking to, and then obviously Andrina comes in, and so he's getting interested in that. But Iris and Jeremiah quickly realize we're just friends. And it was so funny how they were we're friends. They are I think Iris friend zones him, and he's no, same, or one or the other.
They were
and they're
relieved.
This is so nice because then they can talk about the their actual relationships that they're trying to form out.
Which I thought Iris and TJ were okay, but they just didn't have the chemistry.
To me, it was giving.
It was boring.
Two white people who grew up in the same way that you can easily click on stuff like that. Not this chemistry. It's
it was
I have
so
an understanding
boring.
Of you because we grew up similarly.
So boring. And then I even thought Jeremiah and Andrina were
hated
not
them. I hated them.
Did you? So were you rooting for Andrina and Nick?
Yeah, I was rooting for Nick and Sierra to break up. I thought Nick and Andrina were the best match.
No, I wanted. Sorry.
Well, I thought that was her best option out of anybody. The conversation she was having, I thought Nick was the best one she was having.
Yes, but the way I went, I hope TJ and Nick, because I was like, I don't know if Nick really likes Sierra. So, like, let's start fighting in this. You know, she had to be in a love triangle. Let's have you in a love triangle. And I was like, Andrina, go for Pepe. I was feral for it. Anyway, so then what'd we do next?
Point. We had a fan vote, and we picked our favorite islanders, and so it left some people vulnerable.
Who do we pick? I don't even remember this. Who do we pick?
The vulnerable people were Amaya, Iris, Pepe, and Austin, Jeremiah, and Hannah.
Oh, and then the Islanders got to pick who to dump from the
island.
I keep wanting to say island, but that's Survivor, the villa. Survivor was down the street from this.
The guys obviously voted on the girls, and the girls voted on the guys.
That was crazy, but I loved it.
Yeah.
The girls voted out, well, the boys, we'll start with them. They voted out Hannah.
Crazy.
Because they said she already had her Love Island experience. She fell in love twice. Because her and Pepe were really hitting it off. I mean, she spit on her hand in bed for him.
She moved on quickly, which is what Love Island is supposed to be about. Like, you can be sad, but next morning wake up and be in it. And she was in it. And they used that against her.
Wait, wait. We're wrong. The girls voted out Hannah and the boys voted out. The boys picked the boys. The girls picked the girls. Because Sierra stood there and Shelly did too. And they were like, Hannah already had her Love Island experience. I have a good memory. I know people doubt me, but I know what I'm talking about.
And I just know it would have been the same way if the guys voted because they suck the same way.
No, Pepe wouldn't have let that. Well, he was up, wasn't he?
He was up there.
But then the boys voted out Jeremiah, which then caused a lot of issues online because everyone was like, fuck Ace, Nick, and Taylor for being a group, which I was pro send. Well, I wanted Austin gone, but I was also pro send Jeremiah home. The only one I wanted to say was Pepe. So I was good with this. I didn't care.
It's the excuse they gave didn't match. Like, they were mad that he once again, quote unquote, closed himself off with Andrina. God, I will never get her name right. I'm so sorry,
it's terrible.
Everybody.
Yeah.
They were mad that he was like closing himself off with her. He wasn't. Like, he had no other options, let's be honest, because from the get-go, he never opened himself up from the OG people because of being in the Huda relationship. He actually wanted to be in that. And then with Huda's behavior, he could have never talked to anybody who was part of the OG crew. Huda would have blew up again if Jeremiah talked to Shelly or Alandria. And also his friends were with those people. Like, who else is he supposed to go after?
No, we're going to differentiate. I thought this was a good move. I was pro send Jeremiah home. He gave me
because he closed himself off?
Yeah, he gave me the ick at the end. I thought he really, truly did, like, he was almost too, like, into it immediately. I got what Ace was, this is one of my hot takes. I got what Ace was saying by he started, like, love bombing. Like, he immediately was like, I have so many, like, Nick, at least with Andrina, was, like, giving flirty. You know, Jeremiah skipped right past that and was like, you and me, baby. And Jeremiah, I would never go on a second date with him.
To me, I think it's because he doesn't have any other options. I agree. I think he does get a little love bombing.
That's fine, but you can wait.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
true.
know part of it's a game. Like, I get there's also a game happening.
Yeah.
But if you come on that strong, that's crazy to me. It was crazy to me.
I just think they always say, like, oh, wow, you really locked yourself off. And it's not like Ace was really trying with anybody. It's not like Taylor was trying with anybody. I just think it's wild coming from those two. It really pissed me off. Because nobody was trying. Nobody was exploring.
But at the end of the day, they were safe. So it, like, didn't matter.
Yeah.
They could give and then standing up there, like, Pepe had just gotten here and Austin was dating, like, 3 different people. So, like, yeah, it comes down to Jeremiah. He is the cause of some of the drama.
Who was Austin seeing? I think Austin should have gone home on this vote. He had no connections.
Yes, I think Austin also should have gone home, but I think it was more open of, like, he was talking to Amaya. He was hanging out with Shelly for a while. Like, he was at least trying to, like, talk to Iris came in and he was interested in Iris. Like, Jeremiah almost immediately was like, this is my type and I'm going to go for it and that's it. So I understand that, like, yeah, I think Austin should have just went home because I dislike Austin. But I wasn't mad at Jeremiah going home. I was like, yeah, if this causes Huda to freak out a little less, sure thing. Let's get some peace in here too. Goodbye. I didn't care.
I think they,
I didn't like Jeremiah.
Reasoning and the way they said it was a cop-out instead of just being more honest with what the situation was.
I'm okay with it. I have no problem. I had no hate towards those men for voting him off. And that's the beginning of my hot takes.
So at this point, are you on board with Ace, Taylor, Nick, the trio that is getting a lot of hate? Okay.
I'm on board. I'm with the men.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I am not, and that's okay.
I'm with them.
From here, then, I believe we go right into Casa Amor.
Oh, the way they did it, I loved it. They secretly snuck these girlies out.
This was the best Casa Amor UK and US exit I've ever seen.
Yeah, this was awesome. This was a really good one. So the girls leave. I always prefer when the boys go to Casa just because I think they're already more likely to fuck it up. Usually when the boys go to Casa, they fuck it up really hard because out of sight, out of mind. If the boys stay at the house, they're less likely to fuck it up because they see things that remind them of their girl.
The ghosts of the girls are still there. Yeah. And I always think the girls having to pack up their shit and like have a lesser makeup thing. Like I think the girls should get to stay with their own house. It's just a lot less shit to move to.
The other thing, the girls then take it a lot harder when the boys don't choose them because they were there crying over the boys in the house. Listen, I've done extensive research on this. And by that, I mean, I've watched multiple seasons and Casa always hits harder if you send the boys away on a lad's holiday, if you will. Yes. So I don't think we need to go through everyone in Casa or what was kind of happening.
Can I tell you my one issue with the way the intro to Casa
of course.
Is I really liked it on the boys' side. Obviously, they were blindfolded, girls leave, and then girls come in and they think they're kissing their OGs.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But when the girls get to their house, the guys just come in. I wish the girls, obviously they know it's Casa, so they know it's new guys, but I wish they were still blindfolded and had the same kissing challenge.
Yeah,
Instead, they got prompts, and Ariana was weird there, which was weird, but they got prompts and were told to kiss two guys if XYZ. I just wish they would have kissed everybody immediately.
100%. Sure thing. Did you think the Casa boys and girls were hot? Because these got to be hot too. Casa's got to be hot.
On both sides, I was not impressed.
I was unimpressed on both sides as well. No offense to these people, but I was give me a bomb, I want to be jaw-dropped.
If there's one area I need casting to really focus on, it's Casa Amor. This has to be your big one. You have got to show up and cast the hell out of this. You need to really look at the girls that are in the house and try to cast to what they are interested in to get them to break up with their couples. And these are going to be the hottest, coolest, most outgoing people who want to immediately stir some shit up.
It's that Casa is supposed to be the dream person for one of the Islanders so that they'll leave their person. Yeah. So whatever. So immediately we have to kind of couple up. Can we just get to who was left out?
I loved that because they usually cop out and they, the girls, the OG girls will sleep with each other in a bed. Yeah. And I like that they can't do that. I really enjoy that they needed to be in a new couple.
Yes. So they all couple up, but there's one boy, one original Islander boy and one original Islander girl who are left standing. So TJ, no one picks TJ to couple up with. I also like that was in the hands of. I liked that was in the hands of Casa, of the Casa Amor people. Yeah, TJ was a dick, so no one chose TJ, and then no one chose no one chose Amaya, which oh my god, my whole heart broke for her.
This is when I started to really change my tune. I think I really disliked her because her and Austin were always talking, and I couldn't handle
those two were annoying. But also to be the one not picked and then have to stand there and be like, it's still early. we'll see what happens. And then she worked her ass off. She got to work. She got to work on these Casa men.
See, this is what I do think is good about the way they did Casa too, is like, yeah, somebody has to work. Like, everybody does. We didn't know how this was going to go down, like with the like a recoupling in like 24 hours, but I was like, everybody should be scared because at some point anybody could be left without a partner.
Yeah.
So we should really get to grafting, OGs.
It was awesome. So I don't know how we want to do Casa. We don't need to go through a lot of it, mostly because I don't remember.
Skip to the end. I don't really care. Well, let's get to the 24-hour recoupling, and then we can skip to the end.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So yeah, they do the 24-hour recoupling where it's basically like, just a recoupling. You stand if no one wants to couple up with you. On the boys' side, or the girl, we could start wherever. Let's start with the girls, actually, because that was chronologically what happened. So on the girls' side, Zach, the guy who was coupled up with
terrible
Olandria.
Haircut.
Oh my god, I couldn't look away. He decided to stand up for Amaya because Amaya put in work with this man.
Yes, she did.
Amaya cracked me up again because she was either going home or Olandria, and she was like, no. Amaya was about to sacrifice herself on the sword, and I was like, no.
Because Ariana was like, okay, does anybody else want Olandria? And when it's like, no, Amaya's like,
no. I was like, who'd you want to go home? Like, whose man did you want? Someone had to sit up.
At a certain point, you're going to be pissed no matter who is left. Let's say somebody does stand for O. Like, then when it keeps bobbling back and forth, like.
Yeah. Get used to it. Someone's going home, and thank God it's not you, right?
Like, Amaya's never done a, like, true recoupling.
Yeah. So,
or she has done one. Like, nobody is recoupling that they're not used to it being their choice, I guess. They're just used to America forcing them into this.
It was so funny. And then Olandria's like, please don't cry for me. She's not shedding a tear. And she goes, Taylor and I will find ourselves on the outside. And I went, he doesn't like you, girl. Even before Casa, he didn't really like you that much.
I know.
And so,
and she also said, like, I've always had to be strong. Like, I'm like the oldest daughter.
Crushed.
I'm like, my girlie.
But I said, when this was happening, I went, it's time for Olandria to go, and I'm okay with that. I'll move on.
This is the problem when you do have a slow burn and somebody who is really strong and really guarded. This is the downside in Love Island. Like, we saw that with Serena last year, and it was able to work out for her. But I was like, listen, it can't always, the slow burn won't always work. And Olandria understood that. That's the risk you take, and she was okay saying her goodbye.
She's okay with it. She packed her shit up. Hutta gave a guttural scream that made it sound like someone was dying.
When she fell to the ground, I was like, this is
a lot. Like, so
I don't know what's going on in all their interactions, but it didn't seem like Hutta and Olandria were that close. I was like, girl, you love the drama.
But also, no one's dying. You'll see her.
No.
This isn't Game of Thrones. She gets to live. So Olandria leaves. Then we cut back to the boys, and it's time for them. And they do a few little swappies, right?
Yep.
Which matches up one of my top couples, Clark and Taylor. I loved that. I loved Clark. But at the end, Nick is left standing without anyone there for him. And he is dumped from the island, which everyone was way less dramatic about it. But
agreed. Like, they're obviously sad, and I was really sad by Nick leaving because I was like, damn, those are the two couples that I want to watch. Those two people then see their person come back with somebody else.
Yes.
Because Sierra was exploring somebody just like Nick over on the girls' side, and we obviously, like you said, have Clark and Taylor.
Clark, yeah. So Nick leaves. And he is going to the car, and then Olandria opens the door, and she's like, quick, get in.
I was like, holy fuck.
I was like, no. I went, just dump him. I know that that's harsh.
I agree.
Sorry.
With
Not
anybody
here for a
else,
redemption house.
I would agree. I was really excited to potentially still have Alandria because I love her. I love her so much, but I understand.
You and I are going to have words later.
I know.
Ugh. So then Nick and
next
Alandria go out to
up.
eat, and they're like, oh my God, which I at this point had caught on to some Nick Alandria vibes.
Oh yeah.
I was into it. So when it was like, we are going to couple up, I was like, oh, okay.
I was like, oh my God, I love this, because during the challenges that we haven't mentioned because they didn't mean anything.
They didn't matter.
Nick would often kiss Alandria, and they had sparks.
They were hot. He really it was like he was yearning, and she was too busy paying attention to a man who didn't give a shit about her. So it was almost like a romance movie.
Yes, because before this date happened in like the recoupling and them getting like leaving their kind of respective houses, I was getting the Nick Alandria edits at this point already on TikTok, and I was like I'm not catching these things while I'm watching, like how he lights up around her, but like them being called out, I was like, all right, like I'm in for this, like, and I already before Casa was like, hey, I don't really like Nick and Sierra together. I think they already have more chemistry with the two people they were talking to. Like, I don't want them to stay in a couple. Like, they were already pissing me off.
Okay. Yes, I wasn't totally pro Nick and Sierra, but I wasn't pro them breaking up. I was pro, let's have them all date multiple people some more.
Yeah. And let's actually be open and let's chit-chat and talk to a million people.
Nick and Sierra can keep talking. Sierra and TJ can keep talking. Nick can talk to Alandria and Andrina, and Sierra can also talk to Leland.
They were the best at talking to multiple people, and
I was pro that.
Obviously, it sucks. They were like, it sucks to watch my partner be talking to somebody else, but that's what we're doing. You're right. I didn't mind being in a couple because they did it right.
If they come back to each other at the end, then that's great. But I was like, I liked them exploring, so I didn't hate them as a couple.
I never wanted them to come back to each other. I was excited for them to explore so they could break up.
I was okay with it. And then Nick and Alandria, we got it. We're not even like halfway through. So yeah, they come back into the villa. Everyone's so happy. They're now a couple. They're going to explore. They do have a little kissy kiss in Soul Tides.
It was good. She bit his lip.
It was a great kiss.
I was like, this is kicking off.
Wow.
This is kicking off.
The chemistry. But then did they friend zone each other, or was that later?
Yes, because Alandria and Taylor...
Alandria friend-zoned him.
Yes.
Nick did not.
When they come back, obviously, Alandria gets the benefit of still trying to navigate her old couple.
With Taylor, yeah.
So she talked to Taylor, and I think Taylor said the wrong thing to Alandria. He basically said that, like, he was still interested in getting to know her, and it was 50-50 on Clark and like, all...
Fine.
And I'm like, you weren't into her, though. Like, just shut it down. Just be like, hey, I found someone better. I'm really sorry. I'm okay still talking to you, but I'm really excited about this. I don't think he really
I'm not mad at Taylor. I know.
Oh my God. But I don't think Alandria understood where Taylor was at, because if she had, I think she would have kept the Nick thing going.
Well, here's the thing. He could have been 50-50 because he had known Alandria for a long time, knows she's a slow build. She had known Clark for 3 days, right? Like, yeah, and right now it's 50-50. I think that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
He never liked her. He never liked her.
That's the problem. Saw that. The thing is, we as the audience saw him light up around Clark, right? Like, we saw it, but it was, I don't know if Taylor like had fully comprehended that. And then with the benefit for Alandria is now the consequent, or like the negative for Taylor, because now he can't fully explore this new connection because Alandria is there. So I feel like he was like not ready to navigate.
I felt bad for him.
I felt bad for Clark.
Because, like, that is hard. Like, I think Nick and Alandria should have gone to, like, a hotel and had their own little island alone. Because I think that would have kept their connection actually going. Because, like you said earlier, like, Alandria friend zones Nick. So then Nick is like, no, I agree. But he never did. Let's be honest. He only did that because she said that.
He did that thing. And then we have the Casa recoupling, which wasn't really a recoupling. It was just the Casa reunion.
It was so weird.
Which I hated. Send more people home. We should never have like 40 Islanders. Send them home. I was like, send all of them home.
I don't ever need the Casa sides to meet. I understand when you like bring them out at the very end and then they all walk out together, but like there shouldn't be hanging out and discussing.
Break bread with these people.
They shouldn't have a vote on who stays. I'm so sorry. No. You are so freaking new. Your opinion doesn't matter to me.
No, truly. So everyone comes back. We have a big revealing of Nick and Olandria. All the girls are thrilled to see Olandria. Sierra is thrilled to see Nick. She almost got her heart broken. And this is where I went, damn it, I really liked Sierra and Alon, though.
I know. That's why I think Nick and Olandria should have been at a hotel, and then they should have come in at the very end after the recoupling happened.
Agreed. So, so we did that. Everyone's just together now. And now, as you said, we need to recouple because we have 1,000 islanders here.
And not a lot changes. Like, it's very obvious. Like, we got Nick and Clark together. We've got Sierra and...
No, Nick and Clark are not together.
Sorry, Taylor and Clark are together.
Which I was pro. No, you can't just skip over this. This was the epitome. I was like sitting there. I knew Taylor and Clark were, or Sierra, or who the fuck, Olandria and Clark. We're both going to write down Taylor's name.
Yeah.
And I went, pick Clark. I was like, send Olandria home again. Send her home.
Too. Unfortunately, me too.
Goodbye. I wasn't mad at Taylor at all for choosing Clark.
No, not at all.
That is the only relationship I was gun-ho for. And then we had Ace and Shelly, everyone. Huda and Chris match up. Shelly's Casa guy.
Yeah.
That was random.
Because Huda was chatting with him before and they had a conversation about her picking him.
Yeah. Sierra picks Nick over Alon, which made me very sad.
I know.
But then we do something I hate again, and all the Islanders get to pick one person of each gender to stay. So the boys have to pick a girl to save, and the girls have to pick a boy to save. And I was like, ugh.
But the craziest thing is Olandria is with the guys' Casa girls. Like, she switched houses technically and is now an OG up for grabs on that side. So then we get Olandria saved and we get Elon from the girls' Casa house, which I was so happy he was saved.
Elon gives him Nick a run for his money.
Same.
Yeah. I knew it wasn't. After the reunion, even Elon was like, there's no hope for me. And I was like, my guy, you're right. I was kind of someone, and I don't remember who, but someone when they were voting on the boys' side was like, I'm gonna vote for Olandria because no offense, Clark, but he might get bored and go back to Olandria. And I was so goddamn mad. Whoever said that, I became anti-man right there. I that was the moment I decided.
Awkward, but I do also like that did add some messiness. At least the two people who are saved added the most messiness that there could be, rather than just saving a normal. Yeah, but to save a normal Casa person who had no connection would have pissed me off.
A bunch of Casa people go home. We don't care.
Thank God. But a lot of them are there. There are so many people in this house at this point.
Oh my God.
I'm can we get a vote immediately? I want these people out of my house.
We're not even mentioning some of them until it gets better because they're
worthless. I'm so sorry. Half of those people and couples are worthless.
I couldn't keep anyone straight. We had this guy, Brian, who kind of looked like Chris, who also looked like that guy, JD, who left. And then you got Iris and Vanna and Hannah and all these blonde bitches. And then you got this girl, Coca.
Who was Brian coupled up with?
Grayson. There was this girl, Grayson. And I went, who the fuck?
That was with Pepe because she was blonde. Because she was blonde.
Who's Pepe?
I knew Grayson.
Pepe sits here and all day says, that's right, it wasn't Hannah, it was Grayson. I got them all confused. But Pepe can't sit here and say he likes Hispanic girls and then keep dating these blonde girls. Just own up to what you like. Anyway.
Oh my God. Wait, I need to double check. Oh, Amaya brought Brian in. Did she?
No, Andrina brought Brian in.
Oh,
Amaya brought Zach.
Yes. I forgot she existed.
Yeah, Andrina is still here. There's so many people. Can we go do an elimination? What do we do next?
We have some people around for a little bit, and I think we do a challenge.
Doesn't matter.
Fun challenge. But that doesn't matter because then the real challenge that we all care about is when we got to, I remember when they dropped this information that there was going to be rankings on the app, and it might or might not show up in a TV show, and word spread like wildfire. Everybody was you had 2 hours after first look dropped.
Yeah.
And thank God I saw it 10 minutes left, and I'm trying to rank these people.
Good.
There were like 4 different rankings. I was so stressed out.
How do you say, didn't agree with most of the rankings?
This is one of your hot takes because I loved all of the rankings.
Y'all were wrong.
There were like some. I always think it's a little unfair when like Andrina is ranked last, but she's not like on the show, you know, or like she obviously is on it, but like she's not getting airtime. So of course she's
I don't
gonna
remember
be
what she was ranked last for, but
I forget. But I'm always like, oh, I feel bad for those people in like Casa. You just like don't have screen time, so like that's why you're getting last. But when it came to the OGs and people had been there for a while,
Nope.
Hell yeah.
Nope. You're not going to convince me that Clark and Taylor are the worst couple to go on vacation with. Ain't no way.
No,
Ain't
sorry.
no way. Stop. This is what pissed me off. This is what made me mad, America. And I hope y'all kick me out of this country. I wouldn't be happier. You cannot be mad that Taylor liked someone else more than Olandria, and now we hate both those people. No,
Agreed.
He's doing what we need to
you.
do. That made me so goddamn irritable.
That one pissed me off. What I liked about the arrangements is that Shelly and Ace always put themselves second, and in my opinion, Ace did this. I don't think Shelly did this, but I think Ace put himself second, so then the girls would put him first. So he got the ego
confetti
boost of somebody, but he didn't want to just put himself first and for them to agree. He wanted them to pull him up to first. And so when they didn't, that was an ego hit. And then when Ariana's reading the actual order and he constantly is moving back one, I was like, hell yeah. Like, you have an ego thinking you're this amazing person in the house, and that pissed me off.
May I speak?
Yeah.
Yes, for Ace, it was absolutely hysterical. For Shelly, though, absolutely not. Fuck
Agreed.
all of y'all for ranking her. And
Agreed.
this was when America really, really pissed me off and started being Team Hutta. And I went, no.
What
Hutta's
happened?
ranked higher than Shelly on all of those? I don't fucking think so.
I think the stand-on business thing happened. Was that?
Yeah, who's most likely to stand on business? No, stand on business was later.
There was something that happened where they started.
Because we had less Islanders for stand on business.
You're right. There was something that happened where.
Oh no, you're right. No, you're right. Stand on business was first because Grayson was there.
Oh, you're right. Oh my. Okay, let's back up. Let's back up. Okay, so we have the stand on business challenge. I was hyped about this where they're all writing. That stupid little mailbox cracked me up when they're like writing on their little things and they're putting them in the mailbox. I was curious how they were going to do this. I liked that they got a stack of their mail and they had to stand up and read it. And I loved that they could put it anonymous because I think that's where you get really messy comments and everybody goes through and reads their things. I don't know which ones you want to talk about, so feel free to go after it now.
I don't need to talk about a lot. This episode's already so fucking long. But I would like to mention the Pepe one because Pepe got a question about like something relating.
When are you going to get over Hannah or something?
When are you going to get over Hannah? Which I think Hutta was the one that wrote that, but she never owned up to it, which that tells me all I got to know about you. I think that another one I want to hit on was like Shelly was getting a lot of hate. I don't remember, but I remember Hutta's. Let's talk about Hutta's. So Hutta got some where it's like, how could you be a girl because you're out here kissing Chris when you're
because they oh my god, we're getting this so out of order, but it's because the
we gotta move, dude.
I know, but
everything.
The dancing challenge happened right before this, the like costumes. And so there was that incident with Hutta and Ace.
Oh, that's important. You're right.
That was cut. And
the heart rate
Islanders
challenge
have since said like it was, and they said in the episode that we saw, like there was a line crossed. So that's what Shelly was mad about. And it was really confusing, I think, for people watching or like people really pissed that like Shelly wasn't holding Ace to the same standard.
We
but
actually,
you can like, they're different things.
Hang on, we actually do have to go back. So during this heart rate challenge, everyone else was like fine. Yeah, Hutta basically sat on Ace's face, I think.
Yes.
I think she sat on his face.
Taylor has like basically confirmed it.
That is a line crossed, for sure.
Yes.
And it was to the point that all the Islanders were shooketh. So Shelly was very upset about this because Ace is her man. And sure, you can dance on your man, but like, you don't got to sit on his face. That's insane, you know? That's crazy. So then, yeah, Shelly was very upset. She didn't want to talk to Huda that night because she was like, I don't want to say something I'll regret, which I think was very emotionally intelligent.
Agreed.
Huda couldn't seem to comprehend this because then she went to the rest of the Islanders and was like, she doesn't want to talk to me at all. No. She said she'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yep.
But Huda's out here giving a false narrative about what a bitch Shelly is.
She is the worst narrator of her own life.
And then this is when all of America was like, Shelly's a bitch, Alandria's a bitch, Sierra's
I will say,
bitch.
I think Shelly should have talked to Huda the next day because she avoided it then all day as well.
She should have. Yes.
So that pissed me off with Shelly. But that's when we go to the Stand on Business challenge.
And they
say, it like rolls into it.
You talk this whole talk about being a girl's girl. But like, how could you do that to Shelly? And then also you keep saying you brought Chris back for Shelly, but then you're kissing him behind closed doors and not telling Shelly about it. But you're a girl's girl. So what's happening with that? And I went, damn, call her out on her bullshit. And then Huda was pissed at Alandria for spilling her secret that she kissed Chris in the speakeasy. And I was like, I don't give a shit about that.
No.
I was pro the Mean Girls. I'm sorry. I hated Huda.
Too.
That was one of my hot takes.
I get Huda being like later, once it all comes down, they work through it. Like, I wish like that could have stayed between us. But at the same time, stop preaching you're such a girl's girl. Like, if somebody pulled Jeremiah for a chat, you would have been pissed had you not been told. But she did that also with Pepe and Hannah, like pulled Pepe for a chat, didn't tell Hannah. Like, we have had multiple instances where
a pattern.
Huda expects something from everybody else when it comes to how they treat Huda, but Huda won't give it back at the same time. And Huda is the one who like defines how to be a girl's girl every time.
Yeah. And here's the difference for those people who are online saying like, it's like Leah from last season. No. Because Leah never disrespected her friends and she never disrespected the other girls. She might have fought with them. She might have like said some things she didn't mean about Rob and she apologized for that. But she never disrespected her friends like that. And she never held herself to a standard below what she expected from others.
Correct.
And that is exactly what Huda did. And I was not Team Huda. And I was like, rank her last for fucking everything.
I know.
And nothing got
too many
solved.
followers. No, because I don't have a problem.
How?
I know. I don't have a problem with Huda actually kissing Chris. I don't think that should be that big of a deal because they're in a couple. It's the not telling Shelly part. Like, it's the saying you're bringing Chris back for her, and when things change and you are really into him, you're not being honest with Shelly about it.
It's a pattern. You can't listen. I understand everyone being like a redemption arc. Here's the thing. It's not a redemption arc because this is 6 weeks and she hasn't been to therapy. She actually has these problematic behaviors that are not going to get better.
She started suppressing her very big outbursts. Her behavior didn't change. She stopped having major outbursts. She started suppressing her emotions. Like, that's not redemption.
Changing.
That's not change. That's like trying to change who you are rather than trying to change your behaviors and unlearn things. And there isn't enough time for a redemption arc.
That the same way I was pro Ace's Posse, I was pro Shelly Mean Girls. I was in it. I was pro
pissed
them.
when the internet turned against them. So then we get that ranking challenge.
Same.
And I was not happy. I was so unhappy where Huda was placed. I did want
where Clark was placed.
Yes.
Sorry.
I didn't need Shelly and Alandria to be number 1 and number 2 because I did also see that they were like having steps wrong as well. But I didn't need them to be last by any means. And I just always knew that Casa Amor people would be just mixed in the middle towards the end.
Well, because then we also had to vote for our favorite Islander, and it was whoever got the least amount of votes, we're going to be vulnerable. And my friend was like, oh no, I think it's going to be Shelly, Alandria and Sierra are going to be last because everyone hates them. And I went, but here's the thing. If we were voting for the most hated, those 3 would be up there. But we're voting for our favorite. So people are going to forget to vote for the Casa people.
Correct.
And the other 3 people still have fans. So they're going to get more votes than Casa.
Defensive voted this whole season.
Same.
I always knew my favorite people were going to be okay. Or
Same.
I voted for maybe my 3rd favorite because I wanted to make sure that they were also pulled up.
Same. I was playing defense. I voted for, are you ready for this one? I'll never forget. I voted for Clark. I went, someone save this girl. Save her.
I wasn't invested in her. I was voting for Alandria because she was getting a lot of hate, and I was worried that she would slip.
Girl, at the Stand on Business challenge, I wanted to punch Alandria in her face. Here's my other hot take. We're having words. I get that she's mad that Taylor didn't pick her. I understand that. But how many times do you need to publicly be rejected by this man to like get it in your thick skull? But he wasn't.
He was always half in is the problem. Like
he picked Clark at the recoupling.
I know, but then he said he still wanted to get to know Alandria. And he still continued to somewhat
why isn't she being like, I deserve to be picked?
I agree. I think she should have removed herself from that when she's not getting it. However, when she continues to talk to him and he says, I still want to explore us, he also needs to be honest that it is not something he wants to explore.
Yeah, 100%. But she has eyes. Like,
agreed.
My God.
She needs to pick herself, but he also needs to stop talking to her.
The other thing I didn't like then was she bitched him out at this Stand on Business thing. And then she was like, I'm so happy I did my big ones. And I'm like, it wasn't much. You were yelling at a man who didn't like you already. Yeah. So I was annoyed that these girls definitely watched season 6 and then were like, I was killing it out there. I did my Serena moment. No, you didn't. Well, it really fell fucking
The
flat.
moments they should have done their big ones were with the girls typically. Like, yeah. That's the time. Like, you can't just fight against the man you've been coupled up with and think, wow, this was the moment.
Yeah. And then the hottest moment of the season, and I'll stand by this, was when Alandria went like, pick me or Clark. And he goes, fine, I pick Clark. I went, if I was Clark.
She was smiling.
That was the hottest moment of the season. And that's when I became a Clark and Taylor fan. And I went, they're in it for the long run.
This is what I'm going to tell people. You should never ask questions you don't already know the answer to.
That was my
If you think there's a chance he's not going to pick you, why are we asking these questions? Walk away.
Oh, that was awesome. Anyway, so now we're voting a bunch of people off. Let's do this.
Yes.
So America least favorited 2 of the Casa girls whose names will escape me forever, and then Andrina
Jalen and what was Pepe's blonde white
Grayson. Grayson and Jalen and Andriana. And then the bottom 3 boys were Taylor, Austin, and TJ, which I was like, damn, Alon's got fans. So then
I know. I was like, the boys shocked me a little bit. I was like, whoa.
So then all the Islanders have to stand behind someone. And I'll say I wanted, because we could only say 1 out of 6.
Which I was like, damn, way to clear house. We needed a lot of these people.
I was trying to do the math. I just prayed, unlike last season, that someone would stand behind everyone. Because, oh man.
It just...
And we did. We did get that. Everyone stood behind someone. My only big surprise was I didn't like... So we get to the end, right? And Taylor, it's just Sierra left to pick. Taylor has like 4 people behind him. Andrina has 3 people. So it's between those 2. And Sierra didn't pick Andrina. And that's when I went, fuck you, Sierra.
But my thing also is Sierra, Nick, Iris, and TJ had been going on these, are like hanging out a lot.
Double
being like,
dates.
We're the strongest couples. We're hanging out. And so when you know Taylor is going to either win for your vote because you're going to stand behind Taylor, or like you said, Andrina, like stand behind her and it's a tie. When you know you're not going to pick Andrina, why wouldn't you stand behind TJ just to support your friend? Like, Taylor's already going to win. Why do you go stand behind Taylor? That shocked me so much. And then later she said it was because like Nick was scared to lose him. What?
No, that was her excuse for not standing behind Andrina, I think. Was she? Oh, no, maybe you're right.
No, it was when Iris asked her later.
I really, truly didn't care that much about, Iris and TJ at this point. I thought they were boring.
Agreed.
I was pro that.
But it's just weird to know where the friendship lines are between these girls, because I was like,
sure.
What we saw is, like, you guys were all so close. So, like, why wouldn't you give your throwaway vote to her?
Whatever. I wanted to see what would happen if it was a fucking tie.
True.
I was like...
I was curious about that, too.
Listen, I know that your man is sad to lose Taylor, but, like, just go stand behind Andrina and see what happens, you know? Like, let's... But I was glad for Clark. Clark was not in the bottom because of my 1 vote, I'm sure. And I was happy that her man stayed. I was pro that.
I was so happy Taylor was the one to stay. I was happy with everybody else who left. We finally got rid of Austin. 2 Casa people out. Like,
soon enough.
TJ was begging to go.
No, truly, Thank God. So then what happens?
Not much happens in this like last week except for like
we have
Sierra.
people starting to talk. Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, you're right, because at the scene on Business, Brian stood up for Amaya, which like
ooh, that was hot too. That was
Amaya's
hot.
getting attacked by Austin, Zach, Ace, which was crazy. I thought that was so
crazy.
Insane. Ace
Shut
was the one to write that in because I was like, Ace, this was weeks ago. Why do you need to like bring this up again?
But
Austin,
then Brian,
shut up. And Zach, what are you doing?
I don't even know what Zach is saying. But then Brian was like, listen, we come home from Hispanic households and we use language like mi amor, babe, and it just showed like it's not anything against you. And Amaya stood up there like a champ and was like, thank you for the criticism.
She's like, thanks for the feedback. I'll take it to heart.
And then she drops the dopest bar when she's like, sometimes I'm just not somebody's cup of tea. And you know what? They shouldn't be drinking that tea. And then she gets attacked again. And she goes, sometimes I'm just not someone's book that they should be reading. So they shouldn't read that book. And then they still attack her. And then she goes, I just need a minute, and goes to cry. And Ace tries to follow her. And I went, die. Amaya's already like, I'm kind of into Brian for sticking up to me because that was also hot.
And because of that, in this in the vote ranking challenge, everybody finds out Amaya's beloved. And what pissed me off is like after that vote thing happens, somehow Zach is still here. And
that's like, let's give it a go.
I was like, go. Why? No, you don't get to like yell at her like that for kissing you in Casa Amor. When she asked to kiss you, you said you weren't that into it, but like, let's do it anyways. And you're going to be mad that she kissed you. And now that you know she's a beloved person, let's run it back again. Get the fuck away from my girl.
With Amaya, you only get one opportunity to get to know her, and you fucked it up. So here we go. And she even said, I loved that she was really nice to Zach. And then in her confessional, she was like, we're just friends. I went, this guy sucks. And
when they did that running through the wall challenge, Zach kissed her after they ran through the wall thing. And I was like, your whole thing was that you were mad she kissed you and you didn't want to be kissed, but you get to kiss her anytime. That's ridiculous.
So fucking
Get
terrible.
out of my house. I hated that man so much.
Whatever. So do you know he's friends with Miguel from last season? Terrible. Anyway, so yeah, Amaya and Brian are kind of talking. Shelly and Ace are still locked in. Iris is distraught about what's his
TJ
leaving, and Pepe had broken up with Grayson, so now he's also single. So Pepe and Iris find comfort in each other. Chris and Hutta get closer because Shelly kind of shuts that out. Taylor and Clark are locked in, and Olandria is just chilling there because isn't this when our girl Sierra is removed from the villa?
Yes, it had been going around for days, her screenshot with a slur.
She said a racial slur as well.
Yep. And so she gets pulled out of the villa.
She was removed. So then Nick was like, hey man, let's try again with Olandria.
Let's run this back.
Let's run it back. And Olandria's like, yeah, I guess my second choice is still available. I'll go with that. Or my third choice, whatever you want to call Nick.
Yeah.
But
so we
do
another recoupling. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Can I have a hot take?
Yeah.
I didn't believe Nick and Olandria the second time around. I didn't believe it. It was fake. It was fake.
Still believe in their like natural chemistry that we saw from the beginning, and so
there's no romantic chemistry though.
There's no time for this to work out. So I understand like coupling up because like who else are you going to be with?
Yeah, great.
I understand not leaving the villa because he was like, I don't want to leave without knowing what happened to Sierra. But no, I'm not like I wasn't like rooting for this to be a long lasting relationship, but I was like, let's go.
I didn't like how they would sit around and be like, man, like she grinded her ass right into me like she wanted it. And she would be like, it's crazy how
God, I know.
Olandria goes, this is going to be friends to lovers. And I went, y'all don't even like each other that much.
My thing is,
you need to calm down.
You have to be forced together twice in order for you guys to maybe be interested in this. You're never going to willingly choose each other.
It's not real at
That's
all.
what pissed me off about this second time around is like, okay, yeah, couple up again. But in no way, shape, or form have either of you chosen the other.
Yeah.
At any point.
Terrible. So we do another, what is it, recoupling? What's this one now? I don't even remember.
And I think, we
got to get rid of Ilan somehow.
Ilan and Zach go home.
Oh, nice. Okay, girls choose. Goodbye. Yeah. So those leave.
And we're in the final. Or no. We're getting into the final week.
So we have Taylor Clark, Shelly and Ace, Iris and Pepe, Huda and Chris, Nick and Alandria, and Amaya and Brian. Those are kind of like the couples that we're starting to see form.
Yeah.
Or have been formed. Okay, great. Now what happens?
I believe we did a choose your favorite couple. And I
voted for Taylor and Clark.
I knew
I was playing defense.
Based on the rest of your conversation, this is slowly tracking.
Yep.
I think I voted for Nick and Alandria.
No, you're the devil. No. Everyone, if you voted for Nick and Alandria, just know I hate you. I saw someone say, no, I'm about to roast you. I saw someone say online, and they went, if you voted for Amaya and Brian, you voted blue. If you voted for Nick and Alandria, you voted red. And I went, that checks. I was just busy playing defense, but that checks because I would have voted for Amaya and Brian.
At this point, I am pissed at how this entire season has gone. And every time a couple got strong, they're like out of the villa. Like anytime something was actually interesting, I feel like we between our votes and then their like the house, they squashed everything that could have ever. So I was like, this season's fucked in my mind.
Season sucked.
I'm going off of the lore and the edits people are creating on TikTok.
Goodbye.
I hate this season so much. We're done here. So I am hardcore Nick Alandria stan. I'm part of the Hive. I'm all in because I want Alandria to win. I didn't want her to win. I didn't want her to win, but I wanted her to stay around and get the love and realize she's beloved. I was all in on her.
She was evicted twice in my eyes. She should have been gone week 1. Like, get out of my house. I like her as a person. This wasn't the thing for her. Get out my house.
I agree, but this whole season was like that.
But we had some real fucking couples.
I understand.
We had Clark and Taylor. We had Shelly and Ace. Even Iris and Pepe were giving more than Alandria.
No, that's bullshit to be like, wow, Iris and Pepe. They are on the exact same timeline. Hot. They were on the exact same timeline.
But they had more chemistry. It doesn't matter. Nick and Alandria were fucking fake. They're fake. I'm saying it. They're not going to make it 30 seconds outside
Iris
this.
And Pepe are more.
I don't think they're a match made in heaven, but I think they were more than Nick and Alandria. Absolutely 1,000%. They at least had chemistry. Nick and Alandria were like two people that didn't have anyone else. Oh well. At least Iris and Pepe were hot, so they were like banging in the bed. Like, give me something at this point. I was so no.
Okay,
if I could have voted against the couple, it would have been Nick and Alandria.
I understand that, but that's not the vote. Let's remember that wasn't the vote,
man.
So then we voted for our favorite couples, and 2 were in the bottom. I know Taylor and Clark were, and I forget.
Remember. Taylor and Clark were.
They didn't say because I remember people up in arms the next day after this, and I was like, I remember Ariana's wording so specifically that it was she never said the 2 that were voted on were the bottom 2. It was so weird how she said it, but Nick and Alandria,
in no particular order.
I know, but Nick and Alandria and Taylor and Clark are standing up at the thing, and the house doesn't vote on them. It is truly the bottom couple. So I think they purposely put Nick and Alandria up there to make it more dramatic. But Taylor and Clark go home at this point, and at this point I was
so mad.
At this point I was like, this season is so fucked. I'm right.
That was the only real couple. That was the only real couple that
and that
didn't know each other before.
That night they had become like official or like exclusive or whatever, and I was like, this season sucks.
I'm telling you, my hot take, these were my winners. If they had made it, I would have voted for them. I was pro this couple.
I understand.
Y'all were being big haters because of Alandria, but she didn't do any big ones. He didn't like her. And Clark was awesome, dude. Clark was awesome. She's great. I love Clark. Whatever.
She never got enough screen time because it's hard when you're a late comer. I think Taylor could never pull them up as a couple in his likability, even if he hadn't screwed over Alandria that much. He was never that liked. He didn't talk a lot. They just would have never. I agree, their couple was the strongest, but they would have never had the screen time to be a long-lasting couple.
By the rules of Love Island, the unspoken rule of it's not my strongest couple. Anyway, okay, then what happens?
And then we go. I think we have the baby challenge, which Huda yells at Chris, which was crazy.
Huda's a psychopath. Okay.
It was a plastic doll, is all I have to say. Like,
don't rip it off her head. Calm down. It's a doll. The rest of the house is racing their babies around the pool. Like a little tug. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
And then we go into that like family Thanksgiving dinner, and we pull off the tops of the like trays. And we find out that Ace and Shelly are also voted out, which again...
This pissed me off again. Even Iris and Pepe were like, are you fucking serious?
That's when again, every time this happens, I'm like, this season's so fucked. I'm riding hard for Nick and Alandria at this point.
No.
All gas, no brakes on them.
I'm team Amaya and Brian. These two are
I wanted them to win. I wanted them to win,
good.
But I was defensive voting for sure at this point, because I swear to God, if Huda got second, I was going to lose my mind.
I was so pro Amaya. It gave me Love Island UK season 5 when we all just loved Amber so much.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's what this was giving. And Brian really, I think... they're very weird together, but I like them. Anyway, keep going.
Oh, I forgot to say, I think when Clark and Taylor, or when somebody got voted out, Chris and Huda got into a huge fight, and Chris literally looked like he was about to self-evict. He's like, I want to go home. Why am I in this?
He should have.
I think it was the Taylor and Clark one. But anyways, we go to our final dates, and honestly, I don't think we need to really go through these.
Okay, I gotta be honest, I skipped the Nick and Alandria one. I have no idea. I was so over this fake couple.
Fans like wrote in things, and they were weird. I don't know why they allowed this. Like, they shouldn't know what people think about them like that. It was weird.
This was weird. Then I watched the
Iris and Pepe.
They had a hot date. A hot date. 2 hot people in swimsuits. I'm gonna watch. God. And then Chris and Huda went to dinner. And this was awesome. I could have watched this on repeat. So they go to dinner in this also Ian Sterling, amazing during this date. They go to dinner in this floating table. Mm-hmm. And it's great because Ian says that the dinner was after Chris's shift at Foot Locker. And then we saw Chris's outfit, which was Foot Locker. And then they basically break up. But here was the thing. We watched in real time Huda tried to manipulate Chris and it not work. And her retreat.
The night before, she was like, cuddle me. I'm going to count to 3. Gross.
So Chris came out and said that night they were told they're only getting 2 hours of sleep. So Chris was going to sleep. And Huda tried to wake him up. Like, wake. And he's like, what? And she's like, at least cuddle me. And he's like, no, I'm going back to sleep. And she got so mad and she goes, you better cuddle me in 3, 2, 1. Like, the
when
fuck?
He doesn't. She's like, do you realize I'm going to be mad tomorrow?
I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. Yeah. So now they're talking. Chris is like, listen, I like you. This could maybe work, which high key it couldn't. She is a kid and he lives overseas playing basketball. Okay though. But he's like, what are your thoughts? Like, give me your thoughts. And she's like, listen, you shouldn't do that to me. We both did things that were wrong, but like, you need to cuddle me when I say cuddle me. And he's like, my mom doesn't even talk to me the way you talk to me. I'm not going to
Which he also said that since coming out of the villa that, because they had an issue about the no PDA, like she didn't want to do PDA, which I kind of understand with how like
I get that
first kiss happened, but because they had sex, he's like, why are we not kissing in public or even just outside of bed, but you want to have sex with me in bed? So he put up a boundary that like he didn't want to have physical stuff in bed if she wouldn't kiss him outside of bed, which, okay, that's his own boundary. And so her then like, again, trying to cuddle him is super annoying. So yeah, I think he was trying to get her to break up with him, which I think is shitty. I wish he would have just broken up with her. But I do also understand that I don't think Huda would take it seriously unless she did it.
And I liked that he, in real time, made us watch this manipulator not have her tactics work and her retreat and not know what to do. Because he said, just break up with me if you don't want to be with me. And she couldn't do it for a long time. We had to wait for the singer to finish her song. And then to be that singer, I would have paid big money. But then she went over and was like, okay, I don't think we should be together. And Chris was like, great. And she goes, we have the same friends. Can you still hang out with me? And he's like, I probably will distance myself, but we're cool.
Yeah.
No worries.
What?
And so...
why would you expect anything different? You're not going to act like you're in a couple when you're not.
It was so weird. And then they have to walk out of here, but they're like underwater. So she's like, are you going to carry me or
No. I know this language as well. She said, do you want to carry me? He goes, no, I don't. Why wouldn't she just say, hey?
He said, I'm not going to carry you.
He goes, I don't want to. Because she said, do you want to? And it's like, Huda, why don't you just say, can you please carry me across this? I really don't want to take off my shoes. She can never just say what she wants. She wants to manipulate somebody into giving the response she wants, but she wants it to be their idea, but you're the one forcing this hand.
Yeah, it was absolutely hilarious. So they broke up. And then
she takes her shoes off. She grabs that bottle. She pours that last glass of champagne, and she walks out of there.
The singer is still singing. Probably it was awesome. And then I don't think we've ever had a couple break up on the final date before. That was iconic.
No, because everybody else is like, we can get through the next 24 hours. It's fine.
Yeah, this was crazy. And then Amaya and Brian had a very cute little date there.
This is so them. Like it was perfectly emotional. Like it was so like pulled on the heartstrings. I loved it.
Emotional gangster, man. I loved her. And then we finally we do the vows. Well, we do the next day where they all get pampered and dressed up and they do vows and stuff. I always think this is so uncomfortable.
I hate it.
People actually aren't in love.
It's so weird. And honestly, so weird for Chris and Huda to do it, but they did very well despite the breakup.
Amaya and Brian's were really cute. Amaya had me kind of tearing. It was very cute. And then we had, finally, Ariana shows up and is like, let's crown a winner. So Pepe and Iris get 4th place, which rightfully so. Yes. My God.
Well, I wish it was Huda and Chris, but I knew she had enough followers to not be 4th.
And then in 3rd place was Huda and Chris. Thank God.
They stand on opposite sides of Pepe and Iris.
And then Pepe does a little like forehead kiss to Iris. And then Huda looks at her and is like, tries to puck her up. And Iris goes, 1 for Huda. And Pepe,
he like
side eyes.
Like,
so hard.
Like, rolls to one of the cameras and is like, what is going on?
No. So then Nicolandria is 2nd, which means my girl Amaya Papaya and Brian the accountant came in 1st. Who would have thought? Get some normies, you know? And they were so cute. I really truly was like crying watching because Amaya was so cute. She couldn't believe they got the zoomies. She got the zoomies.
I saw somebody say she only gets the zoomies when she's happy, and to watch her get the zoomies and for Brian to run around the villa with her was amazing.
Ariana was crying with the zoomies. She's like, Amaya has the zoomies. And I was like, I know. It was so cute. And then they did the money, which they didn't do last season, which was weird. Who won? Who got the money?
Cordell got the money.
Oh, maybe it was UK. They stopped doing the money for a season. It threw me off.
I think they did, and I think they should. This is so dumb.
This is dumb because no one in the right mind has ever taken the money.
Well, you would lose like the fans.
So much love.
Yeah, like you're going to lose future money.
You have to be ready to be the villain. You have to be ready to be the villain. And the problem on this show is the fans have such a high stake in the game that they're like, you know, we're a part of it, that we would never vote the villain to even make it to the final. Huda, but like, let alone
I feel like what would have to happen is like a couple would have to break up like a la Chris and Huda on their final date. Let's say Huda and Chris win and Huda takes the money.
Steal it.
That would be like, got him. But like, it's such a rare thing that it's just take it away.
It always brings me back to the challenge when Johnny Bananas stole all the money, but he's okay with being the villain.
Correct.
And we didn't vote him the winner, you know?
And that's not a dating show. The reason you're voting is because people like your relationship. So then to take $100,000 too is crazy. We
wouldn't vote for someone that would take it. So
if it's $1 million, you might get something.
Yeah,
to do
it's $100,000.
Well, you only have a $50K swing. Like you're always going to get $50K.
Yeah. So Brian wins the money, but he says it's not even hard. He's going to split it with Amaya. And then they talk about how they both like have talked about how they grew up and like they really want to give back to like their families. And then Amaya's like, I want to donate some of the money. She has no idea what charity, but she is just excited to give back to the community. She shouts out New York City. Man, she was the fucking best. I had tears in my eyes over Amaya.
I know.
Truly, I am so gratitudely here her
She has
for
the
her.
best one-liners. I watched her on the Call Her Daddy podcast, and she had some more in there, and I was dying.
The way I will always now, if someone doesn't like me, be like, you know what? Sometimes I'm the cup of tea that someone shouldn't be drinking.
You literally said that to me recently because I ended seeing a boy, and I was like,
Oh,
you know what?
yeah,
You're so
and
fucking right.
I said, Meredith, sometimes you're just not the cup of tea someone should be drinking, and that's
In the
okay.
words of Amaya Papaya.
My baby Amaya Papaya. So I am happy that Amaya and an accountant won the money. That is the most boring job around, but they seem to actually like each other, which I'm
Agreed.
pro.
And I think they
I'm very
have
pro
the
that.
right similarities and the right differences.
Yeah.
I also think, like, Amaya said she wants to go back to her normal job, and I kind of feel like Brian would too. Like, these could be normies.
Oh, Brian, I don't think Brian should, but as an accountant. But Amaya's a nurse. She just wants to, like, help people. She's so nice. I do sometimes, her voice is still sometimes it gets me.
Agreed.
But I really do think they're a good match. I think Brian needs someone like, I didn't believe Brian until his family came in and he was like, I like that she's so nurturing and emotional and like sensitive.
I
and,
agree.
like,
I think we got
I
him.
need that.
Yeah. I didn't think he had as bad of intentions as like Zach. I think they genuinely had like, hey, out of everybody here, like this is who I would like to couple up with most. I believed in that, but
wait, when he was making out with her in the moo-moo, I was like, this is hot. And he's like, I
thought he did
like
actually
your
like
dress.
her. Yeah.
I like your dress. And she's like, my grandma dress. And I was like, tell me she has granny panties on, like right now. Anyway.
But I agree. I saw what it really could turn into whenever his family visited.
It was very cute. Yay. So we made it. Oh my God. 2.5 hours later, basically. But it was a terrible season. It was absolutely atrocious.
I'm just annoyed. Huda's crash outs got to control a lot of like the season and the dialogue, and it just pisses me off. Her mega stands. If you're a mega stan of hers, do not comment on any of our stuff about it.
You're in a cult.
Will disengage.
You're in a cult.
I can't.
You're in a cult. It's basically a cult. You can't see anything that she does wrong. Because I could sit here all day too and be like, I didn't like how Shelly handled certain situations, or Alandria, or Sierra, whatever. But my God, you gotta be able to look her and be like, Huda sucks sometimes, dude. Anyway.
Like, I will always call out the BS that people do, and I get Huda. I've not to her level, but I've been Huda and how she's thinking about things.
No.
But girl, I want her to be okay out of the villa. I am worried about her. I just want her in therapy and to like work on this stuff because I don't want her to double down or get worse because of an ego play that could come in and like not in a mean way. Like I would probably come out and be like, fuck you guys too. But I just want her to be okay.
I saw someone say, because they were talking about their own mother who had like a baby really young, or like them really young. And they were saying how like when you have a baby that young, you almost stop emotionally developing at the rate you should be. So Huda's still kind of like 19.
Yeah.
Instead of 24, which
I mean, it makes sense because you really got to focus on that stuff. Like, on your child. And like, that's, you kind of go into overdrive and just handle it, I bet. But I don't want, I think also I heard there's a lot of death threats this season and like really mean things on people's pages. And like, I just want to say, if you do that, that's crazy to comment on somebody's pages, some hate, or slide into their DMs with something like
just
that. Even like Sierra.
Them.
Like get out of it. Touch some grass.
The fact that Sierra's parents had to come on and be like, stop sending us and our daughter death threats, that's crazy.
And people are putting ice on them. Like, that's so weird.
That's insane.
Yeah.
If you are one of those people, don't listen to this podcast. It is not for you.
No.
This is not. We will we won't even argue online. Like, we will just block you.
I think there's a right to have a dialogue online about things, but the minute you go to somebody's page and do it and actually enter into their life and do stuff, you've crossed a line.
These are still people, and I think we need to remember that, like, yes, what Sierra and Yulissa did was bad. They shouldn't have done that. However, you can always learn and grow, and, like, I think if they reflect and take some time, I mean, we have been here before. We have forgiven people for using terrible languages.
Yeah.
Terrible. People have called each other terrible things before, and we've forgiven them. I mean, one of them is President of the United States, and somehow he is still here.
I haven't forgiven him, so...
Yeah, but other people have. So if you're going to get mad at Sierra for using a slur, but not be mad at something else like
Yes.
that. That's just
Hold
hypocrisy at
our
that point.
politicians to the same standard as our Love Island contest.
It's just hypocrisy. And you're going to tell me you don't know people like this? You can forgive. The other thing I found crazy was her friends in real time were like almost forced to drop her as a friend. Listen, if my friend did something like this,
you didn't have to say anything. They chose
true.
to be really online too, and that all was crazy.
Listen, if my friends did something like this, yes, I would hold them accountable once they got out, but I'm not going to fully leave them because it's not like they're murdering people. They used a bad word.
The friend was capitalizing also on Sierra's like fame, and so then obviously she has yoked herself hard to Sierra. She quote unquote had to do this, but like don't do that. That's so. If you went on Love Island, I would be running your social account from behind the scenes. Nobody needs to know it's me. Nobody needs to know it's me.
No, I would prefer it. I would prefer you write long captions thinking it's just me. Hey, everyone, Alicia from the villa.
Like,
what do we
that's
all
why
think
she had
night?
to do it, because she put herself front and center in this narrative and then got, like, picked up into the tornado.
That was ridiculous. You can stay friends with her. You just have to hold her accountable.
No, they will. That's what's crazy is they will stay friends with her, just not publicly. And so to publicly distance yourself from someone that you privately hang out with is crazy to me.
That's crazy. So everyone, like, I just think lay off most of these people. You can have your opinions. Also freaked me out that, like, Ariana had to tell us multiple times on After Sun.
Multiple times.
Truly lay off of people. We don't believe in, like, commenting on people's shit, like, any kind of hate things. I've never done it. The only thing I will do is like comments or laugh at them, aka Tristan Thompson
talk about
when
it here too, but
sure. We'll talk about it, but we will stand 10 toes behind. These people are still people. They are still learning. They're all basically under the age of 30, okay? They haven't even lived a quarter of their lives. Let them live. Let them breathe. They have given us pure entertainment all summer, and they have a right to learn and grow from their mistakes and do not have a right to be threatened to death for something they did that you don't like. And it may have been wrong, but we can grow and learn. So,
amen.
My gosh. Do all the things I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast. They're all in our description. And with that, love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.